Hello, yo, what's going on, y'alls? You're looking at a barely awake Pickles. Happy Pride, guys. Happy Pride, Darth. What's up, Gina? What's up, Nurse? Toph? Jason? Ginger? Hello, y'all. How we doing today? Guys, I have not been here to talk to y'all about the fallout of Trump and Elon. How are we loving it? Are we out of popcorn? It's epic. Yeah. Worst breakup ever. What do you think, chat? What do you think? Is this going to fracture the Republican Party? Are people going to follow Elon Musk? Or will there be any? Will the Trump cult following withstand the drama and stay on Trump's side? Let's see. Yellow. Hello? You might be in an accident. That party's already fractured, yeah. He needs to drop more tea. So here's what I think. Some of the Trump following is going to, they're going to cope. And they're going to be like, well, this is just a thing Elon's doing because they found out he was doing shrugs. What do you think? No prenup? I know. Sloppy. Hello?
Just to be clear, before we talk about Elon and Trump, they are arguing on top of the Democrats' grave. You guys are deep in the ground with no chance of existence in 2028. They're just arguing on your grave, having a good time.
Okay.
You guys are still irrelevant. You have no party. So just because the two most powerful people in the world are going at it, they still are Republicans. So take the L. We're on top of your grave.
Got it.
You guys are still irrelevant.
I know my place. I know my place.
Enjoy the show, my boy. Enjoy the show.
What do you think, Ben? Are you just here to say that?
I mean, that's the premise of it. Now we can start talking about it.
All right, whose side are you on? Are you on Musk's or
Like,
Trump's?
this is the biggest win for Democrats since fucking 2020, man. That Elon made a tweet about Trump, and you guys are fucking jizzing your pants in excitement.
Well, I mean, it does go to show that what we've been screaming.
It does go to show that you guys don't actually care about our country. You just care about talking shit about the Republican Party and tearing the other party down.
Chill, Ben.
You don't actually have a substance. You don't have a party of substance. You have a party of emotional, just arguments and just trying to win arguments. That's all you guys care about.
It sounds like you're a little more emotional than I am right now.
All these TikTokers, as soon as Elon makes a tweet, oh, it's a Republican civil war. You guys don't even have a fucking party, bro. All right, you guys don't even have an army to put in the war. You guys are dead in the ground,
y'all
bro.
won by 1.7%. You got to step down a little bit, guy.
Wait, we did what by 1.7?
You only won by 1.7%.
Woo! I'm grittying right now. You don't even understand, bro. We fucking won, bro.
Okay. What do you think about Elon Musk calling the big beautiful bill a disgusting piece of shit?
I don't give a shit. I don't know what's in the bill.
You don't know what's in the bill?
No, it's like we're cutting Medicaid. Go out and fucking work for your Medicaid. Go get some private health care. We shouldn't have our government running our health care. That's the most fucking corrupt Canadian bullshit I've ever heard of.
All right.
Privatize our health care. Privatize Medicaid.
Gross.
Privatize Social Security. And then the government creates laws to make sure these private companies are following suit.
Gross. You want somebody to have a profit motive in between us and our healthcare, especially like dying people?
How did Obamacare go? Didn't we try this like 10 years ago?
Yeah, but if you paid attention,
how did that go? Tell your chat how Obamacare went.
The Heritage Foundation completely destroyed Obamacare. The Republican Party destroyed it. It was going to be Medicare for all.
But it's not possible to sustain a healthcare system for 300 million Americans. It will always be destroyed. We have to privatize it. Because that's the thing. Stop going against capitalism and work within the system to create healthcare for all. Trying to go against capitalism in private companies is just never going to work.
Sounds horrible.
It's just never going to work. We need to privatize healthcare.
What are you doing? Listen, this is what I hear. I hear from somebody living in the richest country in the world. You don't want to help your own, like you're not a patriot. You don't want to help your own fellow citizens. You don't want them to like the most vulnerable amongst us. You don't want the most vulnerable amongst us to have healthcare.
When did I ever say that? I said everyone should have healthcare.
Good job. Like that. It was that easy for you to justify them ripping apart Medicare.
I mean, to me, you should have to fucking work if you want healthcare, or you just eat healthy. Don't be a fucking bitch. Like, dude, I'm sorry. This is, like, you're telling me
you guys do sound low.
You're telling me. Let me explain how this works. So you're telling me we have the freedom to smoke cigarettes, we have the highest obesity rate in the world, and somehow our government. This is why we don't have healthcare for all, because we have companies making so much money on our unhealthiness. So it's like you want to have healthcare for all for the country with the highest obesity rate in the world. Do you understand how much that would cost? We have the most heart problems in the world, and we're like, let's just give out free healthcare. No, we need to bring down the obesity rate, and all these fucking fat liberal women who are munching away chocolate every day. We need to fix that first.
Your stereotypes are insane, dude. Your stereotypes are insane.
I mean, it's true though. Like realistically, we have the highest.
Stop. The only side that's been arguing for food to be healthier in America this whole time have been liberals. And when a fucking weird old white dude says it, you guys are like in shock. You're like, oh my god, it was brilliant. We are the ones doing that.
So you want public health care for the unhealthiest country in the world. Do you understand how much this will cost?
That is a great thing. You know how rich we are compared to every other country on earth? And preventative healthcare is what would probably bring obesity back down.
How rich are we? I thought we were in debt. I thought that's the problem with the
bill. We have the highest GDP in the world, and thanks to Trump, we're in the most debt in the world.
So how do you propose we provide healthcare for all our obese citizens, including like this whole fucking chat is probably fat as shit?
Dog, you're just being rude now. You have no statistics on whether liberals or
well, I'm asking you, bro.
Lean one way or the other. You're just being.
I have two statistics.
You're slinging mud.
Two statistics. Number one, we're the fattest country in the world. We have the most heart problems in the world. So why should we? I guess I only have one statistic. So how can we create a healthcare system for these fat people, bro? Like it's a real thing here.
Preventative healthcare will probably do wonders for them.
It's too late for that. We're already fat.
Okay. Well, the next generation.
The next generation.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to have public health care for like decades and decades, and it's never worked. We had Obamacare.
It's never worked. It's
that was the closest
in the way. The right stands in the way and has all these weird quirks. They're like, you pay for your own health care, and then it gets all fucked up, and Heritage Foundation comes in and gets their grubby dick beaters on it, and they fuck it all up. If y'all didn't touch the health care that Obama was going to pass, it would have been fantastic. It would have been so good.
Yeah, but that was also adding to our debt every fucking year by a shit ton. We were just literally,
you guys would rather pay for military for missiles to do nothing, by the way, to do absolutely nothing, than to help our own constituents get healthy.
Yeah, bro. Military is the reason we're the best country in the world. Is because everyone fears us.
We're not the best at anything besides the military.
I think we're the best at freedom too.
Okay, that's not even true. Tell me how that's true. There is literally a freedom index, and we are not on the top.
Who's on the top? Because in other countries like Europe, people are getting banned for praying. Like, it's fucking crazy, bro. Like, and our country's headed down the same path, bro.
Dude, we have Trump literally trying to pry freedoms out of our hands and operate in the dark, and you guys are cheering it on.
Like what? Name one freedom he's trying to take.
He's trying to take away due process from a certain whole class of citizens. He wants to take away due process from an entire, anybody he chooses.
Oh, that's fucking good, dude. Take away due process from illegal fucking people that cross over illegally, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, there you go. And he wants to, do you know what habeas corpus is?
Habeas corpus, enlighten me.
Okay, it's basically something that says we have to have due process. We have to have our day of court. It's a protection that we have. Trump wants to take that away. He wants to suspend it so that he can start arresting people without any reason, and jail them for as long as he wants. So, if he catches me talking like this on the internet,
he just wants to arrest anybody on the street, bro. He wants to just arrest everybody on the streets for no fucking reason. You're right.
Yeah. What else would he want to do?
So you understand in this country we have the freedom to sue the state if they wrongfully arrest us. Like there's all these TikTok videos where like people get wrongfully arrested, auditors and stuff, and then they sue and make tens of thousands of dollars.
Nice,
So if
nice.
they
My
get
family doesn't have enough money to do that, and a lot of people's families don't have enough money to do that.
well, that's good. That's good because we live in America and lawyers will pro bono it for you. So if you go into a law office and you say, "Hey, I was wrongfully arrested. Can you front me the money
I promise
and
you,
give me
you
10% of the winnings?" They will.
If he suspends habeas corpus, there is no suing because it wouldn't be going against anything. It would be allowed.
What makes you think he's gonna suspend habeas corpus?
He's talked about it, and so if Steve Bannon, so if Stephen Miller,
he's talked about
he
it.
wants to do it.
Trump
Yes.
said some words. Trump said scary words.
Dude,
bro, we have a fucking whole ass
so
government.
emotional and immature right now. I want you to.
Bro.
just
You're
check
emotional
yourself.
because Trump mentioned habeas corpus. Bring up the quote of what he said, bro.
Okay, I'll bring up Stephen Miller.
Because you're fear mongering. That's what you guys do on this app. Is you fear monger, bro. You guys just
you're
just,
insane.
Just hit keywords.
He's sending people to prison for the rest of their lives with no due process, and you're laughing about it. You're cheering it on.
Oh, guess what they did? They committed a crime, my brother. They
No,
came
they
to the
didn't.
country illegally.
No, they didn't.
Name one person.
Okay, first of all, these people entering the country illegal is a $50 fine. It's a Class C misdemeanor. So you say we should go to the worst prison on earth for the rest of their lives, where literally 0 people have been let out before they died. 0.
This is more fear mongering. You're just not telling truthful things. You're just saying.
What am I saying that's untruth?
All you've said is we're going to suspend habeas corpus and send people for $50 fines to prisons for life. You're just like literally fear mongering.
This is what you're talking about. I'm talking about people like Abrego Garcia and the other 200 plus people that he sent to CCOT. You know what CCOT is?
The gang member?
No, dude. CCOT's a prison. And he sent them to the world's worst prison almost, where they cannot leave. They have no judge, no jury, no phone calls to a lawyer.
You understand he was beating his wife? That he was in court for beating his wife? And
no, he was not in court for that.
The wife got 2 restraining orders passed on him because they found him guilty of beating his wife.
I'm not asking for Abrego Garcia personally to come and stay forever.
He deserves to rot in a prison if you're beating women, bro.
No,
you guys die on the stupidest hills, bro.
You know what? Trump has done worse. This person is just an example, a class of people that Trump is putting away with no due process.
A class of people, yeah, wife beaters, bro.
No, he's
illegal
not going around picking out. He's not picking out wife beaters. He's not picking out wife beaters. You're reaching.
So why is Kilmar the biggest one in the news cycle? Because that's the only one you guys have.
Because
how did the wife get 2 restraining orders on him? Because the court found him guilty for hurting her. So
no, they did not. There was no court case.
Order.
There's no court case that found him guilty of anything. He has 0 crimes on his record. 0.
So then how did they get restraining orders?
She didn't. She withdrew that statement. You know that, right?
It's not a statement. It's a true restraining order.
She withdrew it.
There is a true restraining order. It doesn't matter what a statement is because the restraining order was in place.
I want to talk about the 70% of the people on the plane that had no criminal backgrounds in either country. No criminal backgrounds.
Were they illegally here?
Meaning they came across the border and possibly owe us a $50
Just say
fine.
Yes.
They owe us a $50 fine.
Just say yes, Pickles. They were illegally
here. If they owe us $50, they deserve to be in jail for the rest of their lives.
So what I've learned about liberals is you guys care more about non-citizens than you do citizens. That's what I'm learning.
I care about the function, the legality of what he's doing, the illegality of what he's doing. This gives him permission to continue doing. That's what we're worried about.
But why don't you care about the illegality of the people crossing into the country?
Because that's like $50. That's a class
there's just this huge paradox with liberals is you guys are saying
it's a $50.
Trump doing illegal things to people who do illegal things. Trump breaks law against people who break our law. Okay. It's like you guys don't understand how logic works.
No, you're justifying them going to prison for the rest of their lives because they owe us $50. They committed a crime that cost $50 to make good.
I think personally I don't think it's true what you're saying. I don't think they're just going to prison for the rest of their lives. Lil Benita, who owns a taco shop and is an innocent person,
they are
making money. That's not true, bro.
Yes, they are.
That's not true, bro. So what we're doing is we're sending a message to the world that scares people, and they say, "Oh shit,
Okay.
Like in a way, I don't blame you for believing it because that means Trump's message to the world is working and you're falling for
No,
it, and so
that's
are the
why
other
he's doing it.
illegal citizens.
I want you to look. I
Exactly.
want
That's
you to
why
look
they're
at the
doing it because
screen.
they're scaring people from coming in. That's why the border numbers have dropped so low because people are like, I don't want to get sent to an El Salvador fucking prison for the rest of my life. But it's just not true. It would never happen, bro.
No, this is what's happening. Yes, according to multiple sources, individuals in CCOTs cannot leave. They cannot leave. You see the screen? They cannot
Good, bro.
leave. Okay, so now
Good,
it's good,
bro.
and now it's not fear mongering?
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't, like, here's the thing. Number one, I don't think any of this is true. All you're saying is there's a prison where people can't leave. You're not telling me we're sending people there without crazy due process.
You're literally not watching the news. This is where they were sent.
This is what I'm saying. You don't have, okay, so name one case. If you're watching the news and you're so educated, educate me, brother.
Do you see this? This is the prison.
Dude, you're just fear mongering. You're just showing pictures of people in prison, dude. This is nuts.
I can't believe.
Dude, are you serious right now, bro? You're just showing people.
I am
dead
serious. Yes.
This is what you do. You just show pictures of people in prison and you say.
I can't believe you are so uninformed. You don't know about the CCOT thing.
How am I uninformed? You can't name one thing that's going. You're just showing me CCOT.
CCOT. Here you go.
Okay,
Here's
here
the
we go.
news stories. Trump administration give due process Venezuelan men sent to CCOT. That's a day ago. Trump administration knew most deported Venezuelans had no criminal records. Sent El Salvadorian prison. Had no U.S. convictions. He sent these people to CCOT.
U.S. convictions. You can't have U.S. You can't be convicted in the U.S. if you're fucking here illegally and you're off the grid. If you're off the grid, you're obviously going to have no U.S. convictions because you've been hiding the whole time. As soon as you get convicted, you get sent back.
These poor people that are flying under the radar, committing no crimes, they need to be sent to prison for the rest of their lives.
Understand people can commit crimes without being convicted, buddy?
Okay, but the likelihood of that is
you understand low. The crime. You understand the crime was them crossing into the country, and then again, this is where liberal media is crazy. Liberal media is crazy. You guys are like, there were no crimes committed by the criminals.
You see this? Judge orders the Trump administration provide due process. This is the prison I just cited to you. He is sending people there. That's what you were just arguing.
An NBC headline is what you showed me. You showed me an NBC headline.
I'm showing you multiple headlines so that you can tell what's going on.
All you're doing is showing me headlines, bro. This is the problem with the liberals. You guys just read headlines.
I'm not Mother Goose. This is where they went. Okay? U.S. sent 238 migrants to Salvadorian mega prison. Documents indicate most have no apparent criminal records.
So they crossed here illegally. That is a criminal record, brother.
That is a civil. That is
they
like a
now
parking ticket.
Have a criminal record.
No, that is
a parking ticket. They now have a criminal record.
It doesn't go on your criminal record. That is a parking ticket.
Well, it's going to go on their criminal record now.
No, it's not. They have no criminal record.
So Trump is trying to change definitions. Here's the thing. Trump is trying to change definitions because liberals have been able to argue this that, oh, well, they're not criminals. So Trump is changing the definitions of things to make sure no, clearly not, because he's been rejected by many federal courts. So it's not by himself.
So you're saying it's wrong. You admit it's wrong.
And wrong morality does not equal law. Just because he's been rejected by federal judges.
Illegal.
So he's trying to change the illegal. Exactly, buddy. What did they do when they crossed the country? It's just so funny. It's so funny to me.
I can tell that you're breaking down right now. You can't keep memeing on this. This is just as serious as what I've been telling you.
Dude, the whole point of your argument.
I don't care that you don't
care about... Well, I don't care that he's... Okay, dude, if you don't care that they're crossing illegally, I don't care that he's sending them out illegally. We're on the same page, bro.
Dog, crossing into this country, the crime that you're breaking is called entry without inspection. It is like a parking ticket. It is a Class C misdemeanor, and you cannot be sitting in jail for more than like a day for it. And you're saying, good, they're going to the worst prison on earth. Good.
Dude, it's not like these people... Dude, honestly, I don't give a shit. That's the thing. Is like I don't give a shit.
So there you go. You guys are cheering Trump on for doing things that are taking away people's like civil rights.
How do they have civil rights in a country that they aren't a citizen?
Do you think that non-citizens don't have constitutional rights? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. Because here's my example. Let's say Lil Benita crosses the border before women get the right to vote, right? She crosses the border. She's in America. All of a sudden, like this is like in the 1900s. All of a sudden, women get the right to vote. Does Benita get the right? Hold on. Let me finish my point here because it's going to prove you wrong. Okay. Does Lil Benita get the right to vote? No. Because the Constitution and the amendment didn't apply to her because she's not a citizen.
The Constitution says that citizens have the right to vote. I'm just going to see. Do you see the search bar at the top? It says, do undocumented immigrants have constitutional rights? Yes. Undocumented immigrants in the U.S. are entitled to many constitutional rights, including the Fifth Amendment, where it says all people,
Google AI. Google
all
AI.
people,
Nice.
all people, all people. The Fifth Amendment says all people get due process, not citizens, all people.
So here's again, Trump is trying to change the definition of due process because
No, he's
we
not.
shouldn't.
What?
I thought that's what your whole argument is.
He's not changing the definition of due process, bro.
Clearly he is, because he just sends them on a plane
No,
to fucking
he's
Venezuela.
not. He's trying to go around it.
Exactly. He thinks due process. He thinks we grant too many due process rights to illegal
Well,
citizens.
he's just one person. He doesn't get
And
to do
he's
that.
kind of valid because in 2022 we spent $2 billion on illegal immigrants and that due process, housing them, legal
Oh,
services,
no. And then they
feeding
paid,
them.
and then they paid $97 billion into the system. Dang.
So I mean, that's like a myth, bro. Obviously,
That's
illegal.
not a myth.
How is it, dude? Then they're not undocumented. This is another thing that you guys say is like,
No, you just don't
undocumented
understand. You don't understand what
pay with
undocumented
taxes.
means.
Undocumented citizens pay taxes with a tax number. That makes them documented.
No,
buddy.
that doesn't.
That makes
You
them
are just low
documented.
IQ. Literally, undocumented doesn't mean they are completely under the radar. It means that they could have an ITIN. It means that we could know exactly where they are. You just don't know what it means. You
Is
put
an
them all in the same bucket.
ITIN a document? An ITIN is a document. You put your name
Yes,
into the system.
I know, and you still call everyone. The ITIN number is strictly for undocumented immigrants. You fucking buffoon.
No, it's not, bro. Anyone
Yes,
can file
it
for an
is.
ITIN. Anyone can file for an ITIN. bro.
Okay, prove that to me.
Because I had to do it. Because I didn't pay the IRS for 3 fucking years. I had to do it with an ITIN.
Okay, well, it's mainly for undocumented immigrants.
No, it's not, bro. It just
Yes, it
allows
is.
anyone. It just allows anyone to pay the government. The government is going to allow anyone to pay them taxes if they want to. That's what the ITIN does.
Okay, what is an ITIN? Let's read it. ITIN stands for individual taxpayer number. It's a 9-digit number for the individuals who not get a social security number. For people who cannot get one. What kind of people do you think that is, bro?
It was me. I didn't know my social security number, and I did it, but
You
I'm a
didn't-
citizen. Bro.
And that's why you had to do it? You just didn't know your social?
You go to them. It literally just allows you to pay taxes without a social security number.
Okay, well, that's what undocumented migrants do if they want to get a job here.
Yeah, is that a document or not document?
They are still undocumented. I promise you, you are not a documented
According to
citizen.
what definition, bro?
Let me
According
ask
to
you-
what definition?
Let me ask you: if you get an ITIN number, are you free from not being deported? Like you can no longer be deported? Are you like a fully documented migrant now?
No, you can still be deported.
Why? What do they call that? What kind of person are they then?
Illegal.
There's
I
no
think
such
illegal.
thing- There's no such thing as an illegal migrant. I know it sounds like I'm like virtue signaling, but there isn't. There's no like legal process of saying you are an illegal person. Like that's just a slur y'all use.
So here's what I'm gonna say. The whole premise of your argument is Trump doing illegal things. The whole
Yes.
premise of my argument is people doing illegal things to get in our country. So there's
Okay.
really we're at a stalemate here. We're both
No,
just pointing
we're not
fingers
at a
and saying
stalemate. No matter what,
you do illegal
if
things.
you're
No, you do
here-
illegal things.
If you're
Everyone
here,
is doing illegal
if
things,
you're
bro.
here, if you want to use the law to do something to a person, you have to use due process. Trump doesn't care about that. That is what you were saying, and one person can't go and make
He
changes to
doesn't
the Constitution.
care about it because we spent $2 billion on him. If you
Okay.
guys want health care, why don't
I'm
we
sorry.
spend $2 billion
sorry.
on health care
I'm
in
sorry.
2022 instead of illegal immigrants?
Okay, but Trump's spending $88 billion a year deported. In fact, he spent over $200 billion figuring
Good.
out how to spend more money about this. Meanwhile, they're
Good, bro.
adding and contributing to our tax system.
Good, bro. Biden let in millions of fucking illegals, bro.
And he also deported them.
No, he didn't, bro.
Biden deported more people month by month than Trump, by far.
Well,
by
no shit, because he was
26,000
letting
per
him
month.
in. No shit, because he was letting him
Oh,
at the
dang,
border,
so
bro.
he was also deporting them.
You don't have to deport people if you're not letting them in. You understand how that
So
works?
it wasn't wide open?
No, it was pretty damn wide open.
But it wasn't that wide. Like, I don't get it. Which one is it, bro?
So if 4 people come to the border, if 6 people come to the border and I let in 3 of them,
Mhm.
versus Trump having 2 people come to the border and he lets in 1 of them, you're arguing, well, Biden sent away 3 out of the 6. That's more than 1 out of the 2.
Okay,
Therefore, Biden has better
It's
border
the
policy.
same rate. So
It's dumb as fuck,
the
bro. It's dumb
argument
as fuck,
is you can't just change the law to let less people in unless you're Trump, I guess. You
Guess
can't.
what? You can't change
You
the
can't.
law to let them in either, and that's
Okay,
what Biden did,
And
bro.
Biden did not do that. So when we had like 12 million people surge the border, he couldn't be like, all right, this is a lot of people. Stop letting in people with red shirts. He couldn't do that. They all had to meet some sort of criteria to make it through, and guess what? 50% did. In Trump's administration, 53% were let in.
Dude, immigration is not even a debate, bro. Like, if you're gonna argue for Joe
It
Biden on
is.
immigration,
It
you
is.
clearly have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude, I'm sorry you just lost that one.
No, I'm not even gonna get in immigration because like it's not even close, bro. It's really
It is.
not even
It
close,
is.
bro.
Biden was better, and he didn't break
The
the law doing
only
it.
argument liberals have on immigration is the deportation process and like the whole due process thing, because you understand the facts are Joe Biden let in way more people. We had a national emergency on the border.
He
Like
didn't
this is
change
just
any
a
laws
fact,
to let
bro.
extra people in.
Trump
Sorry.
has the lowest number ever in
Because
like
he's
modern
doing
history of
terroristic
border.
things. He's sending people to prison for the rest of their lives
Oh, no.
without due
But
process.
here's where Republicans why we voted for Trump. We don't mind a few liberals getting their feelings hurt if our border is secure, because we'd rather have a few liberals crying and a few Venezuelans getting sent to prison and a secure border.
So you admit that Trump is doing authoritative shit.
Because under Biden's presidency, we were the victim country. Our citizens were the victims. American citizens were the victims. Laken Riley was a victim. People were crossing.
That's a plea to emotion.
We had all.
Laken Riley is y'all's propaganda.
Buddy, you want to talk about plea to emotion, bro?
Yes.
That's literally all you did. You just pulled up pictures of people in a prison.
I had to convince you that Trump was sending people to a prison that didn't let people out. You're like, that's fear mongering. You've literally never heard it before. I don't know what news you watch, but that's what Trump's doing.
So, do you think Roe v. Wade affects women, and do you
Oh
think
my
men have an
God.
opinion on it?
What a pivot! I'm not wearing my sneakers, dude.
Roe v. Wade affects. Is that a women's rights issue?
It's a privacy issue
For who? Women?
for everyone.
So men too?
Yeah.
How is it an issue for men?
Oh my God. You're already losing this one. I can tell you don't even know what it is.
Here's the thing about Roe v. Wade. Liberals complain it's a women's rights issue.
Okay, but I didn't, and you just got kicked. Taylor, thank you for the $40. Dude, Ben, go study up before you come back, okay? Go study up. We don't need your ignorance. We don't need your emotional ass in here yelling over me, minimizing Trump taking away constitutional rights. We don't need that. And you can't justify it with it owning the libs. You guys are okay with people losing constitutional rights if it owns the libs. You know how dangerous that is? Do you guys have any actual values? Weren't you guys constitutionalists last year? Weren't you guys like all about 2A? What a child that guess was. I agree, dude. Hello.
Can you hear me? What's up?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
I'm neither, man. I don't go both ways. I think this whole two-party political system is bogus.
Oh, give me a break, dude. Chat, if you're a Trump supporter, hop in the box. If you're a friendly, get out of here. And also tap the screen, guys. Let's get to 50K. We have 900 people watching right now. Love to see it. Appreciate you guys. Let me bring up my YouTube chat. I'm sure they're screaming at me in the comments. Yellow. Oh. Ben was dumb as hell. Agreed. Hello?
Reasoning,
Reasoning for?
letting me up.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah. Is that hard to believe?
Oh, right. Today it is, I guess. What do you like about Trump?
Everything. What is there to hate?
He's like the most controversial person to walk the earth. What are you talking
Does
about?
controversial mean bad?
It means there are definitely bad aspects about it. I mean, in my opinion, mostly bad aspects about him.
No.
What are some good things you like about Trump?
His border policy.
Okay, so do you think that... Holy shit, Michael, thank you so much for the $99.
Yeah, calm down.
Holy shit. Thank you so much. W Michael's in the
Calm
chat.
down, calm down, calm down.
Dog, I just got $100. Okay, so do you think that we should be sending people to prison for the rest of their lives without any due process, without any criminal background either?
Depends.
Okay, in what circumstance would that be good?
If they killed someone.
How would we know they killed somebody without due process?
Because you just can tell? Is that a serious...
Who gets to say they did it? Like, what if I just said you killed somebody? Do you get sent to prison for the rest of your life?
If you do it right, yes.
If I say it right?
Yeah. If you get a good attorney and all those other things.
Where would the attorney report to? Where in the process of no due process do they get to fight for my side?
Because you try to kill me.
Dog, do you know what due process is?
What? What is...
Do you know what due process is?
What is a due process?
Due process is like where you get to go to court and see a judge.
No one should go there.
What?
That's where you go to prison. You don't go there.
All right, you got a few seconds to get serious before I kick you.
For what? Beating you?
At what?
The argument? I mean, is it that hard for you to believe?
I don't think you're making any sense, bud.
So, me winning in an argument makes me no sense?
Correct. It's made you 0 sense so far.
Sure. Let's debate.
Do you think we should send people to jail, to prison, to the world's worst prison for the rest of their lives without them seeing a judge?
Alcatraz?
Alcatraz is not open.
Yeah, it is.
It's a museum right now.
Exactly. It's open.
All right, guys. Come on. Yellow, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay. What do you like about Trump?
Largely pro-life policies.
I thought Trump just sent them back to the States.
Well, he was more pro-life than Harris was. That's why I voted for him.
But he's not going to do anything about that, right?
Can you explain that to me? Why? What do you mean he's not going to do anything about it?
He simply sent them back to the States. He's not pro-life. He's not going to be signing any legislation for pro-life purposes, right?
I mean, I don't know if he has plans to, but I would hope he does.
Then why would you vote for him? Speed ran that one. Speed ran that one. Chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Yellow.
Hey, I am definitely not a Trump supporter. I just wanted to say, love your live, and I love your glasses.
Thank you. I love you.
And great job. Keep up the good work, man.
Will do. Pro-life, but kids could go hungry? Yeah. Chat, tap the screen. Let's get to 100K. If you're a Trump supporter, hop in the box. We just ran out of guests. I'm about to turn on the phone number for YouTube if we don't get any guests on TikTok here soon. And also, don't forget to follow if you enjoy these debates. We are out here slapping MAGA wiener. Okay. Dylan's super chat. My dad unalived someone. Granted, it was in Bosnia in the 90s, and he was deployed to a war zone. Is he banned from the U.S. or should be sent to American prison for the time of the Canadian military? So when you are abroad, you're basically in the what is it called? The jurisdiction of the country. So in Bosnia, if you committed a crime in Bosnia, could you be tried as an American citizen? Yes. If you acted outside of the bounds of law, yes, you absolutely could. But you don't get tried for unaliving someone here if you did it in Bosnia. Yellow?
Smacking some Trump wiener? Is that what I heard?
That's right. You like it?
I mean, if that's your thing, bro.
Love it. All right.
What's popping today? What's the news?
You know the news. Did you already eat through all your popcorn?
Not yet. I just got off of work, so I'm kind of just reading up on the stuff going on. I probably haven't even read every single tweet back and forth, honestly.
What do you think about the big beautiful bill?
I think there's flaws in it, but I think that it mainly addresses what he ran on.
There's flaws in it. It mainly does what that he ran on?
It mainly addresses the stuff that he ran on, like him, like just re-implementing the 2017 tax policy and, no
So
tax on
as
tips.
long
and
as he
stuff.
puts the tax policy in there, he can put as much pork as he wants. Dude, some of it's really dangerous. Things such as giving the executive branch more power and the ability to operate in the dark with like deporting citizens or just writing executive orders that are unconstitutional. It will pretty much defund federal judges who try to make a federal injunction against it. So he would basically be able to rule from his desk without Congress. Does that excite you?
Well, he would still be able to be tried by the Supreme Court, right?
No.
No? If he's being
No.
challenged for who challenges the president for constitutional violations?
Anybody
Like,
can
once it
sue the
reaches
presidency
top.
for the constitutional challenges.
Well, I'm saying once it reaches the top, obviously we can start with state
If
and go to
if they
federal.
take it up, they don't have to take the case.
Yeah, but so if you challenge it and they don't take it up, then obviously it's not a violation. If it might be a violation, it goes to the next level and then goes to the Supreme Court, who makes the final decision.
He's consolidating power to be a dictatorship. Like, what if Biden passed this bill, and it immediately let Biden write an executive order that says the Second Amendment is no longer. We're going to take all the pew pews.
Well, I would expect that to be challenged by the Supreme Court.
Okay, and what if doing an injunction or being challenged by the Supreme Court had no consequences?
Well, that's not what the bill reads, so that's a what if. I mean, it's speaking about overreaching federal courts, federal judges that are politically motivated, overreaching and stopping the administration.
The only way that you guys can be for this is to think that they're politically motivated or being activists, while no other president in history has had called for the impeachment of judges that have done legitimate injunctions on his executive orders, like the one that sent people to CCOT without any due process. When a federal judge made an injunction, say, "Hey, turn that plane around," and he didn't do it, what do you think should happen to Trump?
Are you claiming that Obama did not say that federal judges have a little bit much of overreach whenever in 2009 he was deporting people? He actually claimed this.
Okay, I'm not saying he's not calling for them. He didn't call for the impeachment. And what you're talking about is expedited removals, right?
But that's when it was said out of his mouth, the very thing that you said
So
nobody ever did.
Yeah, nobody's ever called for the impeachment of federal judges. No.
Okay, I mean you could verbalize it how you want, but
No,
the
Obama did not call
stopping
for
of
the
the stopping
impeachment.
of federal judge overreach to the executive branch was what the goal was.
Okay, but I'm talking about Obama trying to get the courts and Congress to give him access to writing executive orders that bypassed this types of checks and balances. Did Obama call for that?
I mean, you could say that he didn't call for that
No,
exactly.
he didn't call for anything like that.
Well, he did though, like I just explained. I mean,
No,
you could do that.
He criticized
Anybody
it.
in here
He
could do that
softly. It sounds
research.
like he softly criticized it. Trump is literally got people ready to take arms, like he always does.
Come on, Pickles. Nobody's
Dude, Trump has
taking
had people
arms.
like Trump has had somebody charge an FBI building and get unalived. Trump has had people show up at Nancy Pelosi's house and
And what is
hit
this?
her husband with a hammer.
And what is this freaking, the anti-Jewish free Palestine movement done in the last
Nobody's
month?
anti-Jewish. That is a reach. In fact, our side is most
Nobody
of the
that
Jewish
how
people
about
vote
the
blue.
dude that shot two people in the face the other day, dude,
I don't
and
know.
said "Free Palestine," screamed it outside
Okay,
of a Jewish
no one's
synagogue and shot them in the face.
I condemn that. We condemn that as a party. We're not calling for violence.
How about in Boulder, Colorado, where the dude was throwing Molotov
We condemn
cocktails
that.
literally
We
3
condemn
days
that.
ago?
We condemn that.
So that's the type of rhetoric that you're discussing is being happening, that you're saying is happening.
What rhetoric are our political leaders doing to do that besides saying free Palestine?
They're not even, like, a lot of them won't even condemn it. I don't remember
Give me a break.
the lady, I mean, you got to get, I think her name's Ian Omar, I want to say.
Ilhan Omar.
She refuses to, dude. You got to give me that. Like, she's been questioned so many times, and her position is clearly from the river to the sea over there.
You know what? She's allowed to have a stance that's pro-Palestine, but none of us are calling for violence. And your side literally has the Yahtzees. Your side has the Yahtzees that call for them to be on live 24/7.
So if I provided, I mean, and I'll send it to your DMs. I doubt you'll, look into it, but there's an entire 10-minute video of the last 4 years of your side calling for violence. To, if you see them at a restaurant, if you see them in the streets, you get in their face and you cause a problem. That was the rhetoric that your party was spitting during the last
But
presidential run.
domestic right-wing terrorism is 1 through 14 of the top most violent criminals in the United States, and 15th place is finally where left-leaning people come in. You cannot say it's the same. It's y'all. It's mostly y'all. For you to even try to point the finger and say we have dangerous rhetoric that's causing problems, you need to look at your own side, because your side is causing people to jump into U-Haul vans and fucking show up to places and do actual violence.
Yeah, but listen, I understand, and I also, just like you said, you condemn that, I condemn that. But where did like if we're going to sit here and be honest and have an open debate, I didn't read an article that those people injured, attacked, or shot anybody or unalived anybody that day. I believe that we saw something that was.
You're talking about Jan 6?
No, I'm sorry. I was talking about the U-Haul incident you mentioned.
The U-Haul incident is not one day. That is a practice they have.
Right, but I did not see any. Can you point to an article where they unalived somebody during that practice or rally?
I'm sure I can. Patriot Front is who we're talking about there.
I don't know, honestly. I just saw that, but I didn't see anything following up saying like these people went through the streets and jumped, African Americans or spit in the faces of, like the real true stuff that we used to see when the marching in the streets were happening and people were able to be treated that way. It's just not happening.
Tommy, thank you for the raid. Much love. Thank you, my dude. Welcome, my dudes. Listen, I also don't think that, just like you said, I don't think we have any incidents of Patriot Front unaliving people, but they are causing riots. They are the ones that call for violence. They are showing up with masks and uniforms. This is, in my eyes, this is domestic terrorism.
Then you would look at, if you were, again, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate you saying, just like I believe that 3Ks should be domestic terrorism, I believe that if that is your thought process, then 2008 to 2018 should have probably bothered you when Antifa was moving throughout the streets.
Antifa does not have a leader. They don't have a place where they meet. They don't have a mission statement.
But
They are
you're not
just
even
literally
going to be honest about
anti-fascists.
but you're not going to be honest about the way they went about it, like with their mask and being destructive and burning things down and attacking
If
people
I
for
could tell
simply
the
wearing
leader,
hats.
if the leader of Antifa would step up, I'll tell him to stop doing that. But until then, you're gonna have to tell me where we are meeting, where we have a mission, where we are saying, hey, this is what you do. You need to wear masks. We don't have anything like that.
Well,
Antifa is
and
literally anybody who's against fascism. And the second we point out fascism, you guys just say we have Trump derangement syndrome.
Okay, so in the same sense, show me where MAGA is doing that, because I can show you where
Every
in
bit of Patriot
Colorado.
Front.
I can show you in Colorado, I can show you in California, I can show you in New York, I could show you in many states that I've had this very argument with, that they are in fact having Antifa meetings. They are in fact
this is Patriot
meeting
Front
up.
right here.
And there are in fact,
You literally
there are
have to
even
enroll.
badges.
They
There are
have-
even badges, bro, for Antifa members of where they rank.
No, they don't. I've never even heard of that.
Okay,
There's
I'll
no
share
official
again,
rankings
I'm
in Antifa.
okay.
If somebody went up to another person in Antifa from another state and said, "I'm a higher rank than you," they'd be like, "Fuck you! No, there are no ranks."
Dude, maybe when they started, maybe like, dude, this is how
Antifa
things
is not
and
a group.
movements.
It is a movement.
I get what you're saying. Just like MAGA is a movement, not a cult, like you like to call it. It's a movement.
It absolutely is.
But at the end,
it absolutely is a cult.
okay, then so, bro, you can't have your cake and eat it too. This is the world
Yes,
that
I
like
can.
I hate.
The
Like
cult-
this is the
the-
world.
the-
This is the world where we
the criteria
disagree
for
with
cult
at
is
this time
different.
because,
The criteria for cult
if
is
you're,
different.
dude, if you're being 100% honest with yourself and your guests, you would say that both can be cult-like. That there are members of both sides that can be cult-like. There are members of
I would
Antifa
say
that take it entirely too far. There are members of MAGA
that's
that
not what
take it
constitutes a cult. That's not what
entirely
constitutes
too
a cult.
far.
No, a cult, the main thing of a cult, some of the main things I would say would be like the inability to criticize your leader and the inability to do critical thinking. So if I were to say, hey, what do you think about the big beautiful bill and its intention to consolidate more power in the federal government, to bankrupt the United States, even though you guys were calling for like Doge and to pay, like to start working against the federal debt. You guys were for that like a month ago, and now you don't care. Like your inability to critically think and criticize these things is very cult-like.
But that's not even the truth, because that's like the picture you want to paint, right, Pickles? That's the picture that you painted in your
Paint
head
it more accurately
of
for me.
every okay, so more accurately would be if you rewinded this live and listened to my answer when you first asked me, and I said I believe that there are flaws inside of the bill, but there are a lot of things that he ran on that are inside of it as well. That is a true answer.
The regressive tax rate means nothing when he has tariffs all over the place. You are paying more taxes.
Those are dude, that's a completely different
You are
at
paying
the
taxes.
table. Okay, so I'm glad this is the best argument that I've had with the tariffs, and I honestly hope that people can soak this in. If you truly believe, and I can't sit here and disagree, that tariffs will raise prices because you're increasing the price of it coming in, then you need to also truly believe that if you raise the corporate tax, they will raise prices
Two different
at the
things.
corporations.
No.
That is not true, Pickles.
It's two different things.
You are not being honest with anybody if you think that you can raise.
I can substantiate
If you
this,
can
and I've
raise
done
my
this with you.
taxes, listen, if you can raise my taxes from 15 to 25% And you think for a second that one of my three companies are not going to increase anything in production or anything
You're
in
only taxed on your profits.
pricing?
Boom, I'm done. I win.
That doesn't matter.
Yes,
You're
it
still
does.
going to increase pricing because you're paying more at the end of the year, bro.
No.
You're
You're only
still
taxed on your
if
profits.
1 year,
If
listen,
you
Nicholas,
try to increase your
if 1
prices,
year,
I'm sorry, if you try to increase your prices to preemptively pay for your taxes, you're also increasing your taxes. It's literally a never-ending carrot you're gonna chase.
you're
It is
going to
so
make more
incoherent.
though. You're going to still make
You're gonna
more.
make
Like, yeah,
more,
you'll
and you're gonna
increase.
get taxed more.
Okay, yeah, you'll pay a little bit more in the taxes, but you'll make more. But you're used to. So put it this way: I make let's say 100,000. Well, that's an easy number. Make 100,000 1 year, I get taxed at 15%. I make 100,000 the next year, I get taxed at
Dog, you're talking
25%.
to a bookkeeper of like 6 years. I know
Yeah,
what I'm
then
talking
this should
about.
make total. Then this should make total sense
I
when
know
I land the
way more
plane.
than you do
So,
when it comes to this.
bro, like you have to stop assuming also that you know who you're talking to. Okay, you
Okay.
have to.
What do
Because
you
I
think
own 3 different businesses.
you can own
Okay,
businesses and
I know
have
what.
no idea how to do bookkeeping?
What are you talking about, dude? I didn't hire a bookkeeper in my first 3 years of owning one.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you also have done any sort of high-level accounting.
Okay, you might be more educated in accounting and bookkeeping, but can I just land this plane here?
Go ahead.
If I am taxed at 15% 1 year and I make 100K, and the next year I make 100K and I'm taxed at 25%, am I making less money?
You are making less money.
Okay, so if I increase my prices to make that up and get my salary back to 100,000 because I have a truck and a boat and a house to pay for, then that is what I am referring to, and that is what's going to happen.
You can't. First of all, let me help you. Name the business that you're talking about. Name one of your businesses.
You know what? I live in Florida. Let's say a pool company. Let's do a pool
You
company
clean
and
pools.
chemicals.
Okay.
No, I don't actually. I'm saying let's say that my dad growing up owned a pool company.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm saying let's
Okay.
use that
So
as
you
an
have a
example
pool
because I
company,
know how your
and then
users are, and they'll
there's
dig into me and stuff
3,000
like
other
that.
pool. Okay. There's 3,000 competitors in your area that also have pool companies. Okay. And
Okay.
let's say you guys all get a tax increase on corporate taxes, and you guys decide to pass on every single penny of your tax increase onto your customers, and the 3,000 other companies do something completely different. Some of them pass zero of it. Every company that passes 0% of those tax increases to their customer, they outperform you. They do twice as much volume, they make twice as much money, and
That's not true.
therefore, believe me, that's how it's going to work. It's called capitalism. They're going to outperform you, and you just get swallowed fucking whole, and you go out of business.
So what happens,
That's
Pickles,
what's
is
going to happen.
in the first year, they will take a lot of business because that's what's happening. A lot of business will get taken in the first year. But what ends up happening is prices end up leveling out. Those people understand that it's not sustainable. And what ends up happening is those same very companies that were at first giving discounts are realizing that the market changed, and they're like, hey, I don't really have to charge that. Everybody else at this
No.
point's making
It
$35
will level out. It
of
will level
cleaning
out a
instead of
little bit,
40.
but what you're saying is incoherent. What I'm saying is they're going to make more profit, and they are going to be taxed only
In the
on
first
profits.
couple of years, you're
Do you
correct.
know
If
what
they
the term?
eat it.
Do you know what the term cost of goods sold means? COGS.
Yes, you've done this whole yes, we've been through this.
Okay,
But
so
what
there
I'm
are
saying,
things that you cannot avoid passing on to your customers, and those things would be things like tariffs. That is a cost of goods sold. Those are
and
things you cannot
also
avoid
those
passing your
things
customer.
would be, and those things would also be your tax liability at the end of the year, bro.
No,
Those
your
things
tax
have to
liability
do with
is
your
not a cost
profit.
of goods sold. I am sorry, you failed that.
I understand that, dude. You're separating. You're trying to say that I'm combining the two. I understand that those two are separated in owning a company. You have cost of goods sold and you have tax liability. What I am referring and what I am telling you is that at the end of the day, no matter what, if your tax liability goes up and your company makes less profit that year, you will increase prices eventually to sustain the same income that you were having the year prior.
No, you
That
won't.
is how
You're
businesses
literally not
operate.
going to do anything if you're outperforming all the rest of the companies who are going to be
Okay.
greedy like you. No, they're not. Your company
Pickles.
is going to do what they're doing. You're going to start lowering prices to compete with those companies because you're going to try to adjust to meet the same
So
market
how
rates
come
that they
how
are.
come my companies did not shut down in 2020 or 2022 when inflation went out the roof and I raised my prices?
Because everybody raised
Why?
their prices. If the market allowed
Everybody
you
did,
to
right?
survive,
That's what's
and
mostly going to happen with the corporate tax rate. Everybody's going to raise their price that
this is
little.
anecdotal. I'm talking about what happens in markets, what happens across all types of companies. This is what you would have to do to compete. And if the competition is not high enough, maybe you don't have to do that. But there are companies who will maintain the same price even though their corporate prices went up or their corporate taxes went up. Just like when in 2017, did you own a business?
In 2017, I can't
Yes.
say I did. It was in 2019.
Okay. Here's the problem. If your corporate taxes were lowered, would you lower the prices of your services, or can you name companies that lowered the price of their services by a whopping fucking 15%? Can you name a company that did that when Trump cut their taxes? I'll wait.
Well, the reason that you can't find that is typically because it's only like a 5 to 10% cut. And
Dang.
you're
But
talking about
if Trump cut if Trump cut these tariffs from 30% to 0, what do you think the average cut of the goods sold would be? Would you think it would be 30%?
you're acting like tariffs. First of all, what's disingenuous about the entire thing is that tariffs have existed the entire time. Like the
Dude,
entire
you're
time.
you're conflating blanket tariffs to tariffs on like automobiles, bro.
I mean, we can call there's tariffs on every single product. I mean, there wasn't
there
a
wasn't.
single there's not a
You're
single
talking
product
about
that has
VATs.
zero. There's not a single product outside of pharmaceuticals, aluminum, and one other product that have 0% from any other country. They charge us
You're
because
lying.
we could flood their markets easily, bro.
You're lying.
We could, dude. We're America. There's like 55 countries we could flood the markets of right
You're
now.
lying. You're lying. Literally, no. First of all, America can't flood everyone's market because the cost of us to produce or manufacture or service or good is much higher than every other country because the American dollar is worth more and the cost of living is far higher here than most other countries. So
Of
we
course,
cannot
but they
produce a
don't have the
good cheap enough to flood
capability
someone's
of
market.
but they don't have capabilities to produce certain products in certain countries, dude. That would make
Like,
their entire lives easier, and they would be willing to pay for it, especially government
then you're
contracts.
talking about a country that wouldn't even be affected by us flooding their fucking market.
Yes, they would.
Why? Okay, if they can't produce the good we're flooding their market with, then what's the downside of it?
Because then they will, dude. It's at the end of the day, it's eventually going to be able to be produced in a certain country. They
Oh
don't
my
want to
God.
be. No country wants to be flooded by another country in any market, especially like the current administration said with aluminum and pharmaceuticals. Like we rely on other countries. There's literally zero reason why we should be relying for aluminum,
Okay,
steel,
you're
lumber,
also
and pharmaceuticals.
you've derailed this conversation from taxes to markets and consumer goods. What I would have to say is that when we make a product, it is going to be far more expensive than what China makes it for, than what a lot of other countries can make it for, and we don't
agree.
really have the ability to flood other people's markets the way you're saying. And if we could, it's something that they, like you said, can't produce themselves. So if we're flooding their market with things they can't even produce themselves, there's no harm. Why would they ever tariff our products? So just like China makes antibiotics that we don't produce here, why the fuck would we tariff China's antibiotics if we don't
Because
even
I
try
think
to
the
compete with
point
them yet?
that's the point that we're trying to make is, or I'm trying to make, I should say, I'm sorry, that yes, those countries, of course, we flood their market. It doesn't matter. They can't do it. We can.
Okay, and when we
We
try to
can.
produce things like antibiotics for the rest of the world, and they look at China's prices, and then they look at ours, whose are they gonna buy?
Of course, they're going to buy the slave wage market.
Yeah, So what are we fucking
Yeah,
doing?
they're gonna buy the children that are getting paid pennies to the
Yeah,
dollar.
exactly.
Of
All
course.
right, exactly, exactly. So what the fuck are we doing? Why are we doing the tariff
Yeah.
thing?
The idea of the tariffs, first of all, and this is again, everybody's got an opinion about this. I think that they're more of a strategic move to bring people to the table and make better deals for America because
Okay,
we
Trump has already
we
said that he's not
subsidize we
dropping below the
subsidize other.
10% tariff. Trump has already said that. So that's try again.
Well, yeah, I agree with a 10% tariff, so we're not flooded by any other countries like
So
that.
you're
That'll
you're
at least balance out like the slave wages that most of those countries that you're referring to,
it's
like
not going to do
Vietnam,
anything to their
the
slave
Philippines,
wages. We're only
to
13% of China's
China.
market.
Okay, that's a big dude. Do you know how much 13% of China's market is?
It's not okay. First of all, yes, it's a lot. But second of all, you're not going to do anything to
How much
affect
are
the
we of
wages that
Canada's
these people get
market?
paid. You can cry all day about them making like X amount of dollars per
How
day.
much are we of Canada's GDP?
I don't know, 150 billion.
No, I'm asking. I mean, I know percentage, so I
What's the
guess
percentage?
it's, I believe, right around 30 to 40% of
That's a
their
lot.
entire GDP relies on the United States.
Okay, but I'm talking about in China. You're complaining that they don't make a lot of money. They don't pay their workers a lot of money. Well, guess what? There are literally almost zero homeless people in China. Their cost of living is so low that they can survive on a very low wage. That's what makes them able to make things and produce things for such a low price.
Well, yeah, and you're not wrong, and they have a different lifestyle too, and this is like honestly a respectable thing, but a lot of the times too, like the reason that their living conditions are so low is because of the living conditions that they're in. I mean, they will live four people to a two bedroom and or four people
Okay,
to a one
we've
bedroom.
got hundreds of thousands of homeless people, so I guess that's way better than what we got.
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree that, lowering the housing and stopping BlackRock, who donated to the Democrat Party, would be a good
Oh,
idea.
give me a break.
BlackRock the
They
CEO did
donate to
not show
both.
up at
They
the
donate to both.
DNC.
You guys are
Did the
literally
CEO show up at the DNC to elect Hillary Clinton?
Cool. Trump is the one who deregulated the housing market, and they've gone from a 10% to 20% representation
BlackRock is a
investors in
bigger
single-family
problem.
homes since Trump
BlackRock
deregulated
is
it.
a bigger problem than Trump. BlackRock buying houses
Trump
and
allowing BlackRock to buy houses is a big problem. You're right.
both sides do. So
Can you tell
this
me
is
a
what
thing
I
that
love.
Democrats
I
did to
love to
allow
end this.
BlackRock to buy houses? Can you tell me a piece of legislation they passed to help BlackRock buy houses?
It's what they didn't do.
Okay, false. It's what
It's what they haven't done.
Trump is the one who did that. He's the one who fucking did revisions to the
You can,
Dodd-Frank
yes, you
Act.
can point to something that he did that
Yes,
benefited
these
him.
are actions.
I can point to nothing that your party did to stop it
Dog,
because they profit off of the same
okay, it's not
exact
the same.
thing.
It's not the same thing. You guys are enabling them and giving them more power, and you're pointing at us because we didn't do anything to fix your fuck up.
Okay, it's just like this, right? And I'm sure you've heard this before, right? Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were talking in 2016, and he was talking about the tax code, and he said literally, "You guys won't do nothing about it. She won't do nothing
we
about it.
can't.
You know
We
why?
can't.
Her donors benefit off of the same stuff. Of course, I took those tax breaks, just like everybody else
Dog, the
that
difference
has
is
more than $1 million in
the
this room.
difference is Kamala's proposed tax cuts and tax plan was going to tax the billionaires, and yours is going to give them the biggest cut in history and tax the middle class and lower class. We are not the same.
I believe in the American dream. You know what I mean? Why
Okay.
should I punish those that
And
made it to the top?
Okay, so you don't believe in protecting the most vulnerable amongst us. You don't care about regressive tax rates. You are a
No, I
virtue
care about the
signaling, scapegoating.
opportunity to the
You know
top.
what? And you do not believe what you're saying. The Democrats are for helping the middle class and relieving the middle class of a tax burden, and your side gives the richest amongst us tax breaks. You are not.
No,
we are not the same.
But you understand that middle class is not 40,000 or less, right? Your class actually goes for the poor. It's not the middle class. It's the poor. It's the poor and it's the
goes
Ivy
for?
League. Huh? Yeah, that's literally like you guys have had certain groups of people stuck in your democratic trap of relying on social programs that they can't get out of, even voting for you guys because they don't want these programs taken from them.
That's bullshit. You don't have
And
any. You don't have
and
any.
yeah,
don't,
I know you're. Oh, more red states have food stamps.
Yes. And what you
Yeah,
do.
but guess what? You're talking about per capita and those red states. Look up the amount of food stamps that come out of the blue cities
Yes, because
and
there's a lot of people. Yes. So
comparison
So
to
that proves
outside of the
it
city.
proves you wrong that social safety nets does not cause recidivism and does not cause a higher rate
No,
of
it
food
doesn't prove me
stamps.
wrong because if you literally clear the map and see where those recipients are, they're inside of the blue cities of those red states.
Yes. So the
Like in
laws,
Missouri,
excuse
for
me,
example, you have St.
laws are
Louis.
written at a state level. So when you guys have shitty laws that create higher levels of poverty, that proves my point.
No, it's living inside of democratic ran cities.
Okay, and what laws do cities make, bro? Give me a fucking break.
What do you mean? So hold on. Does the state of New York and the city of New York City had the same weapon laws?
They might have some ordinances, but yeah, mostly yes,
Okay.
generally yes.
No, dude.
Okay, what are the
No,
differences?
you can't even carry a pistol with you can't carry anything inside of New York City at all. What are you saying? Like at all? You can't walk around New York with a pistol in your waist. Unless you're like I would say like a third level license, maybe there's some sort of like license you can get. Like that's like
you can.
way
A pistol license
more
issued to carry is concealed. Concealed carry is only legal in New York. Pistol license, yes, you can.
Yeah,
You just
New
lied.
York City.
You just lied.
New York City.
I just wrote city. Yes, it's city is in the prompt.
Okay, your permit to carry, though, is what I'm saying. Your permit to carry is not like, hey, I'm registered, here's my fingerprint, do a background check. It's very, very
So
like.
you just lied.
No, I didn't lie. I literally said, unless there's a program to get
You
some
didn't say that.
extensive. Like, you can't just go to. Listen, you can't just go to a store, give them your thumbprints, run an FBI background check, wait
Thank
3
God.
days to make sure you're
Thank
not pissed
God.
off.
Thank
Wait
God.
3 days.
Thank God, or else our crime rates would be like Texas.
What are you talking about? New York City's crime rates are terrible with even those laws.
Okay,
They're terrible.
Texas. Okay, I haven't checked New York, but Texas has higher violent crime rates than most blue states.
What
Yes,
are you
they
talking about, bro?
Yes.
Zoom in on that fucking map and tell me it's not Houston or Dallas. You tell me right
Yes,
now.
and
It's not
gun
Houston
laws are
or
written at a
Fort
state
Worth.
level. Yes.
It's not Houston, Fort Worth, or Dallas.
I live in Dallas.
You go ahead and
It
tell me
is.
that.
It
Because
okay.
Fort
I'm
Worth,
sorry,
Houston, and
but
Dallas
that's
are
where
Democrat
state laws
ran.
are written. Greg Abbott says constitutional carry is now the law. Everybody inside these huge, high dense areas now have
And
pew
can the
pews.
city ordinance not happen except inside the city? Can that not happen?
Can a city ordinance
Just like New York. What are you
change
saying? Yes, it
gun
can.
laws?
Not gun laws,
In
like
Texas,
the fact that
in Texas, a city ordinance cannot change or make gun laws stricter.
okay, well maybe in
Oops.
Texas. I don't know your state. So,
All right.
and I doubt in Florida.
Well, checkmate.
But in New York apparently. And in California, apparently.
In New York, city ordinances can supplement but not contradict state gun laws.
Okay, this can. So there's your answer. So I wasn't lying. I just didn't know your state.
Okay, but for instance, Texas has bad crime, and you can't just point at cities and be like, yeah, it's because of the cities. No, it's because Texas has horrible laws that allow people to just carry pew-pews everywhere.
Dude, you're not going to convince me that over in like Corpus Christi on the outskirts where freaking farmers and oil rig workers are just coming, that's not where the high crime is.
Yeah,
it's
I
over
know.
in
It
the
just
city.
so turns out when more people bump into each other, there are more crimes. Yes.
Okay. It's not because of any kind of policy or anything like that in the cities.
No, you have to tell me what policy makes more crime in blue cities. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay, so we could revert back to the previous election before this one, where they were crying for police officers to be defunded
No
in
politician was
cities.
running on that. And the only people who
What?
defund police, no politician
No
was running on
Congress
that.
member?
No
Hold
politician,
on,
no state
AOC ran
politician.
on that.
Okay,
AOC ran on
I
that.
would love to see that, and also I would love to for love for you to tell me how first of all the Republicans in every state run on defunding the police, because you guys literally lower taxes in every fucking election. You guys are the one defunding states in their police system.
Nobody's defunding the
You
police. If
guys, in
anything,
every instance, you call
in my
for
state,
lowering
every
taxes or
single
defunding the police. Period.
dude, in my state, in my county specifically, I can't speak for yours or anything, but every single year, every year the budget has been increased by thousands of dollars since I think
What
1986.
it doesn't matter that it's increased because your population may be increasing, therefore you collect more money, but we're talking about like a police per capita. And
Yeah,
you
we
guys
have
are constantly defunding states. If you're in a red state, yes, you are pretty much subsidized by every blue state in existence.
I live in one. Look, I'll give you my county because I don't really care. But like, I live in a red state, and I live in one of the biggest counties in the state of Florida, which is Volusia County, and they are doing an incredible job of maintaining maintaining the budget in the sheriff's office. The crime rate is not that bad, honestly. I mean, a lot of areas are very good. A lot of areas can be bad. There's like ghettos, quote unquote, in parts of it. But again, there's like Daytona Beach. If you look at that, that's pretty bad. New Smyrna Beach, and outside of that, and over in Osteen, in the country, stuff like that. Very good, dude. Very, very good.
Okay.
And the police department is thriving.
I still contend that red states constantly defund police, while blue states haven't done that. No blue state has done that. Can you tell me a blue state that started to defund the police?
Yeah, I believe there was a county in Colorado that defunded their police department and saw a rise in crime, actually. I could find the article if you'd give me a moment, but I don't know how buried it is because it's like 2018 I'm thinking of. But yeah, absolutely. There were cities
Colorado
that
did not defund its
actually
police. In fact,
passed.
voters in
I
Colorado
didn't say the state.
Colorado approved
I
a
didn't say the
ballot measure,
state.
Proposition 130, to allocate $350 million in state funding to local law enforcement agencies for recruitment, training, and retention. It is approved in November
Right.
2024.
And then when it hit the city, they reallocated the money to different departments, defunding the police department, like I was saying. Because you know how that works.
They in what city did they do that?
Like I said, it was like 2018 that I'm referring to, so it would take me a moment if you would give me one. But yeah, just give me 1 sec. Maybe you can talk to your viewers. I'll be right back.
They shifted money away in 2018 to mental health and substance abuse program. This initiative aimed to address certain situations unarmed professionals, such as mental health specialists and social workers who work with the law
So you
enforcement
found it.
agencies. The goal is to provide alternative responses to situations. Therefore, the concept of defunding was not widely adopted. There was existing efforts, and due to various financial
What about
concerns, the adopted
da-da-da-da?
budget
What do you
results in
think about
reduction in
that?
the town's police department. I mean, so essentially, they kind of.
It happened. Essentially, it happened.
I wonder if it was actually.
Essentially, Pickles, it happened.
Was it effective though?
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was not. It was a rise in crime.
Due to various financial.
The only
concerns.
thing that I can say out of that, and I'll even advocate for my county like I spoke on, the only program I can advocate for that actually made good out of that was the autism awareness program. And my friend, who is actually a deputy for the sheriff department, ended up finding a missing child over in a pond because he learned through that class that autistic kids tend to go towards water. And he ran about a block and a half away to the lake and found this kid. So those types of programs I do support, but cutting the actual department to make those programs, I don't.
I'm gonna have
But
to see. I'm gonna see. You're gonna have to show me.
I mean,
Charles
you just read
Aurora.
it.
Yeah, I know, but
It,
you're gonna
it
have to
is.
show me where it raised crime rates.
All right. If you wanna, do you have anybody else in your guest box? I'm gonna hop off for like 20 minutes. I'll be back on. I don't know if you're still gonna be live.
Yeah, I got plenty.
All right. Cool. I will be back, bro. I appreciate the. I know we disagree, like I always say, though. I appreciate the combo, and I will be back.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
All right. You too.
All right, chat. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the drill. Cindy, thank you for the $10. Trump has MAGA believing a third Trump term is okay. Tell me MAGA's not a cult. Thank you, Cindy. Juliana, thank you for the $4.20. From one Texas Blue Dot to another Texas Blue Dot. Keep dog walking the tramps. Will do. Thank you so much. Yeah, I rest my case. Ben's down there talking about Trump 2028. Still, dude. There you go. Chat, if you're a friendly, please hop out of the box. It really hurts my numbers when I get a friendly up here when we have 1,000 people watching. Any thoughts on the Elon Musk situation? Yes, we are going to have people either doing the cold thing and defending Trump's insane behavior and saying what Elon Musk is saying is untrue. They're going to be saying things like Elon Musk was paid off or something wild. I don't know what the story is going to be yet, but I mean, make it make sense. Elon Musk donated $200+ million to Trump campaign. He would have to be paid off to the tune of more than that, which you'd also have to add in all of subsidiaries that Trump is now going to cut. You're going to have to give us a lot. I don't know. The drama's all a psyop. Does anybody else have any good ones? It's all a psyop. I wonder what Twitter's going to look like here in a few months. The host sits down to pee. I do. I also use the bidet. So I sit down. Sometimes I don't even pee, and I just use the bidet for like 5 minutes. W's in the chat. Mallory, thank you for the 3-month subscription. Thank you so much. Hello?
Hello.
Are you a
Can you
Trump
hear me?
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am, but not agreeing here lately on certain stuff. So I don't know. I may be regretting what I did. But do you remember having a conversation with a guy about a week ago? He was saying he owned a Tesla and he was like being attacked for owning a Tesla. I don't know if you
Kind of.
remember that. Yeah, okay. So I tried to jump in that day, but then I have kids, so it was like so much going on. But anyways, I have a friend that lives in San Francisco, and she's a single mom, and she owns a Cybertruck, I believe. And she said when she's riding around like San Francisco, she's had protesters throwing stuff at her car with her kids in the car, like beating on her windows, trying to break windows. And I believe you said something along the lines was as they should, like, I don't know if you said attack you, but like, I was just like, I don't think like he would approve of people going after a single mom with kids in the car. And she earned that, you know.
I'm all about like peaceful protesting, and I think the most that I've ever said was saying like I understand why people would be upset with Elon Musk and the things that he's done. He is single-handedly responsible for at least I think 3 million people dying in like Africa this year. And
Yeah.
I think that he's also had a huge hand in dismantling arms of our government that are essential for us. And the last things that I would start checking for efficiency, I think is a whole political ploy. But we're seeing
Yeah,
now.
she's just a single mom, and she worked really hard for that vehicle, you know, and she doesn't get a lot of help with the father. And so she was just like, and she's a Democrat, and it's all good, but she's like, I don't understand. These are my people, and They're
Yeah,
like
I would.
attacking my car.
If I had a Tesla, I would immediately go buy like stickers to put on like decals of some sort, being like, "I hate Elon," something like that. I would be completely ashamed to own a Tesla right
Her
now.
tag says something about hating Elon. Her
Oh,
car
good.
tag on the front and back, like because you
Maybe,
have to have
yeah, maybe
on the.
something more apparent. I don't know. Some people don't read license plates.
Well, she just says she rides through areas where there's like protesting going on, and they'll approach her car with her kids in it, and they're young kids, they're like 8 and 5, and they'll start beating on it, and
I don't
just
know. I've
I
never.
mean,
I don't think that's why. If that's a, it sounds like an isolated incident. I don't think that happens very often. I
yeah,
live
I
in.
I just wanted to make sure because I like watching you. I was like, there's no way he thinks that it's okay for people to
No,
go
I
out.
condemn that. I condemn that. I think most liberals condemn that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you do, because like I've been wanting to talk to you about it since, and I know y'all were talking about something prior, like when I on the conversation before, but I just like I wonder if he'll even remember, because it's
I
been
would.
like a week.
I would suggest she sell it, but
That's what I told her.
apparently you can't even sell those right now. The Tesla Cybertrucks are not being made again. They are discontinued. There's 100% recall on them. No dealership will take it in a trade-in. They're unserviceable. It sucks that she got it.
Yeah, I know, but this was like she got it like right when they came out. I don't even remember when did they come out. I can't even remember, but
I don't know.
she got it a while back. And I know she's regretting, but she's like, why can't I just like earn like like save money, buy a vehicle, and it not be political of what I drive? And I agree with that. Like it shouldn't be about the vehicle, Like I do agree with that. And she has made it a point, like I'm a Democrat. Like I don't agree with Elon. I don't like Elon. Her tags say it. Like I mean, she's just it's the whole thing's out there. But I'm like, well, you do live in San Francisco, and it's highly populated with Democrats. So and some of them may not be reading the tags like you said. So I don't know. Like I just wanted to make sure, like, because I do like you, and I was like, I don't want to not. Like I didn't want to take that the wrong way. What you said to the other guy who was a Republican and all of that. And so I just wanted to clear that air because I don't know if anybody ever cleared it with you
Okay.
after that conversation. That was
right.
it.
All right.
I
Well,
appreciate you, Pickles.
anytime. Thanks for
I
coming up.
listen in all the time. You're
Well,
great.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.
What's going on?
Yellow.
Like this area there, around that. That's a weed. I think that's
Lorb. Mr. Lorb. Mrs.
there's
Lorb.
weeds coming out of it. I think it's that honeysuckle or whatever that stuff is.
I think I'm in their pocket. Yellow.
Hi, Pickles.
Hello.
Hello. I was on before a couple days ago, but I'm just sharing a little bit of information going through what you guys are talking about. The last lady said, why can't I just buy a car without being political? Well, you're supporting somebody that is being political. Your money is funding that person, right? Same thing with Target, going to Target, you're supporting, their views. The major thing that you were talking about earlier, the tariffs. Tariffs get deposited into the general fund. The general fund is the same account that our taxes go into, and they get spent the same way. Okay. Now, when you go to pay those businesses, the person that was on talking about the tariffs saying, he's a business owner, boop, 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 and he just passes that on to the consumer. Okay. So those big businesses are doing the same thing, right?
Mhm.
Businesses can claim that on their taxes. Do you know who can't claim that? The consumer. So when we go to pay our taxes and whatever, we have already paid for that tariff. That is an additional tax. big corporations are getting that additional tax break on those tariffs. So overall,
Because it's an
his
operating cost.
uh, essentially,
Yeah.
yeah. So no matter way you spin the tariffs, even blanket tariffs, those big corporations are getting a tax break, an additional tax break when it's getting passed on to consumers. Now, I don't know his stance on this, that, and everything, but we as a society should be more mindful of like how that impacts us like as a whole. It's still passing it on to the working class. Yes, lower income, they're going to be hit the hardest, but still those 1% corporations are still getting an additional tax break. I don't remember what else he was talking about, but I don't know if y'all have heard about Palantir
Palantir.
going on.
Yeah.
Yes. In your downtime, research like everything going on like politically outside, like what's going on connection with like the government, but connection to IDF. And I'll just put it, I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to get dinged or you get dinged, but it's bad.
Okay.
If you look that up, think back in, I think it was in January when they were putting all those drones in the sky for like the aliens or whatever. Those were them. So connect that with what I just said because I don't want to get you dinged, but it's bad.
Okay.
And then I think that was it. But yeah, tariffs are 100% tax. Oh, last thing. That's the same junk that the frameworkers of the Constitution literally had a legal justification for the Revolutionary War. If you look up the 27 grievances in the Declaration of
Taxation and representation.
yes, 100%. But also habeas corpus, like literally, they were immigrants moving to the country, right? Literally, they were the immigrants. And that was necessary to have habeas corpus, due process for everyone, not just citizens, because they too were, it's connected to the Magna Carta. And if you're a history buff, I studied history, so all of this stuff that they're putting out is like huge red flags for me. But read the 27 grievances, research what tariffs, the history of tariffs. That was literally Revolutionary War and Declaration of Independence. So yeah, that was it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
My information about Cybertrucks being 100% discontinued was a little inaccurate. I'll read up a little more on that. Just look back into Cybertrucks. Yellow.
What's up? So it's DC and Denver that I was referring to specifically.
Okay, the Foundation series of the Cybertruck was limited edition model. It's been discontinued. Production has been scaled back due to poor sales, while Tesla has been stopped making reservations based on RWD model. Rear-wheel drive is resumed sales of long-range rear-wheel drive Cybertrucks in April 2025. Okay, that's true. Okay, all right. Okay. Well, first of all, this is neither here nor there, all right? There's no major politicians running on defunding the police right now, and that was before the George Floyd incident, right?
Okay, so when you say politicians, you're referring to Washington, D.C. politicians or local politicians or all?
The majority, 99.99% of them.
Okay, so I like to refer to Congress.
Okay, and you've got one person, you got AOC?
No, there was a group of them that were, I'm pretty sure Adam Schiff even advocated for defunding the police back after the George Floyd riots.
Okay, so two people?
No, dude, there was a number of people. I just don't have a like studied list of people during this time. Like what me and you did typically where we butt heads is You say there was nobody. I say that there was a couple. Then you're like, okay, well, it was a couple. Well, like, we'll
This
just
is not
admit that
this is not a
it did
large
happen.
movement. This is not a large movement on the left. In fact, a lot of us are
It's
saying
not anymore because it was
we
a
should
losing movement.
we are for funding the police more. We want more training. We want more qualified police officers. We don't want high school dropouts joining the police force because they have no fucking career.
Well, okay, so first of all, where do high school dropouts go join the police force? Because if you're talking about getting your GED, you still have to go to a community college at the very least and join a police academy. I don't know what
For 9
state.
months?
I mean, does Texas have different laws? Because
Everybody
you
has to
do
go to
have to go
police
to
academy
police
to be a
academy.
police officer.
Right, and you need a what to go to a
You don't need
police
an
academy?
associate's.
What do you need?
You literally just go to like a 9-month course.
No, you need a high school degree, and you just said dropouts, which refers to not having one.
Can you have a GED and be a police
I have a
officer?
GED. That is a degree at the end of the day. I still was able to go to college after I made a better
Okay, you
decision
can
with my
just
life.
get a GED and become a police officer. It is a minimum requirement for police departments.
Right, but that's not a high school dropout. That's somebody
Yes, it
that got their
is.
GED.
GED
No,
is what you
okay.
get if you drop out.
No, that's not what you get. You don't drop out and they say, well,
No.
here instead you get a GED.
Yes, I know. You
You
don't
don't- you have to
automatically get a
actually
GED. You have to
physically-
you take a GED test and get a GED. I'm talking about
Right, so high
you
school
get the point that I'm
dropouts-
making. If you okay, let me restate it. I don't want people who just get out of high school and have no career to go become a police officer. I want somebody who
Why
took
does them
like
having
a 2-year or 4-year degree in criminality or criminal studies or something like that. I want them to have some sort of requirement other than just like the
Pickle,
bare minimum.
Did Einstein graduate high school?
Okay, he's an outlier.
I'm just, dude, like, just because you didn't do well in your teens or like your living situation sucked when you were in high school and you decided to drop out and emancipate yourself for some situation. I mean, you guys like to
You're
pull
talking
these
about
little
outliers. I'm talking about the general people that become police officers should be more qualified. You're talking about, well, what if there's some special kid who's the next Einstein? I don't give a fuck. I want the general
I'm not
baseline
saying that.
of being
I'm
a police
saying-
officer. I want the threshold to be higher for the requirements.
Right. And maybe I could agree with, a few more months of mental health training or whatever you're talking about during police academy, but that has nothing to do with defunding the police, which is literally what the movement was that we were discussing. That was a political platform.
Most of us are for more funding. You guys, for instance, though, you want to defund the CIA, you want to defund the FBI, you guys want to get rid of entire departments.
I mean, 3-letter departments came out of nowhere, and they're like, they're very useful. I'm not going to say that, but they're also very dangerous because they're unelected, they're unaccounted, and they're, completely free to do
kind of like ICE.
A lot of things. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you have a problem with that 3-letter agency, then this is where, again, if you have a problem with one, you have to have a problem with all of it, dude. You can't just be like, ICE sucks, but CIA is great and FBI is great.
Your problem with the FBI was
except for when the FBI investigates Joe Biden's son, then they're biased and
you guys didn't have anything on them. The thing is, we found Trump's criminality, and you guys said all of the FBI is corrupt, and that's it. Although they're the people who like keep our country safe from like terrorists, from sex trafficking, from
I think
CP being spread, like all of these other things, fraud. Yet they're evil for cracking down on Trump doing very illegal things.
No, see, because what the confusion I think is for most people is whenever we speak about the FBI, we are not speaking on FBI agents that do exactly what you say every day and commending them for doing that every day. We're talking about the director doing scummy shit with the department that
The
he's in
person that
he or she is controlled
Trump
of.
Trump literally appointed Chris Wray.
Do you understand that at the end of the day, his first administration, right? He was never a president and never had he
And
ever
you
held
guys
a
elected that.
political.
Yes.
Okay, listen, had he ever held a political position before?
No.
Okay, so he was told by his political advisors to, hey, I recommend this person, they've been doing great, blah, blah, blah.
And
That
y'all
was,
wanted
he
that.
explained this.
Y'all
He
wanted that.
explained this in his, he explained this already. He knew what he wanted, he knew what he was doing, but he trusted also his team, who ended up being Washington Rhinos like the rest of them.
Rhinos.
And
Give me a break.
like at the end of the day, dude, these people, you can't sit here and say that you trust anybody that's been in politics as long as they have in Washington, 99% of them.
I think it's a
And
weird.
then we're the bad guy because we're like, hey, this guy that's never been in politics has a couple good ideas. These
This is-
people have been here for 45 years and they literally lick ass.
Now, the thing is, there's nothing about being in politics for a long time that's inherently bad. That is a small brain take. That is uncritical thinking. That is dumb. The only thing that's bad is looking at their actions and saying, hey, that's bad. That's it.
No, so you don't even agree with term limits at all as far as senators or members of the House?
I think that people who've been in Congress for a long time can be very effective politicians. And you guys are completely against holding anyone accountable. So, like, this bill that's being passed right now, everybody who voted against it should no longer have a job in the midterms. They should all be voted out instantly. You guys won't do that. You guys won't do
Well,
that.
that's not-
In fact, anybody who goes against this bill is now a rhino. Has no actual... you guys have no actual criteria for who is doing their job correctly or who's an actual conservative. It's
Hold on,
whoever is
because
falling
you're-
into the
who
tribal
is-
mindset of voting for Trump or against Trump.
Who is actually voting against this bill, though? And I ask you, how much shit have you talked about those three people?
I think all
Major
Republicans are highly useless.
What's her face? Fucking, you're talking about Taylor Greene?
Marjorie Taylor
She's
Greene,
gonna
she
be one
voted
of-
for it. She's worthless.
She's
a
going
piece
to
of
vote
shit.
against it.
No, what?
Or
She
maybe
already
she-
voted for it.
Oh well, there was a video saying she was going to vote against it
She
because of the damn
now regrets voting for it.
because she didn't read the AI part.
Yeah, sadly, that's the deal breaker. When there's like 5 other things I would say are just horrible.
Either way, that's then that takes out one. So you're talking about two people. I think who's the other one? Who's the other
Literally
fucking
anybody who stands against it. This is your rule as in your party. If somebody comes out against something that Trump likes, they're a rhino. That is the cult mentality. You don't actually think that these people should serve their constituents.
Listen, a rhino in my personal opinion, and this is like since I was like younger, dude, is like somebody that's like a Republican down for war and has been in politics for like 40 years, doesn't care about
So
the
that's
people
Trump?
at all, only cares about the black suits behind them. Did you hear me say politics for like 40 years?
Okay, but
only
that's
cares
okay.
about
But Trump
the
meets the
freaking
rest of that
black
criteria.
suits
Trump
behind
wants to
them.
take over Greenland. He wants to take over Panama. We are no longer friends with any of our allies. We're in economic war with
Right, he
China.
doesn't want to take.
Like
Gosh,
you
he
guys,
doesn't
okay.
wanna
Let's
take
talk about
over.
Mitch McConnell. Let's talk about Adam Kinzinger. Let's talk about Liz Cheney. All of these people voted in line with Trump 94, 95% of the time. That's not enough. Now they're a rhino because they criticized Trump. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen to yourself. I would love the day, like maybe 7 years ago, that you would sit here and advocate for Liz Cheney.
I don't care. I hate Liz Cheney because she is like you. She wants everything that you want. Besides, she doesn't lick Trump's nuts.
No, she wants war is the point.
What war did she advocate for?
She's always, dude, her and the Cheneys have so much fucking money and hands in like
No, her dad
war
is not
and
her.
weapons.
What did she advocate for that's pro-war?
Okay. Her dad's not her.
No, my parents are all MAGA. So, no.
I'm not saying that like you can't be different, but they're identical in political
They have the same
standpoints.
name. No, that's not true.
How's that not true?
Substantiate that. Where has Liz Cheney called for war that Trump didn't want?
I don't know
So you
where
don't
she's
know.
specifically
You're just
called.
brain
I'm
dead.
saying no. I'm saying I don't know where she's called for a
Okay,
specific
what
war.
makes Liz Cheney a rhino? Tell me.
First of all, like I said, in my opinion, it's somebody that has been in politics for far too long and has no care for the general public,
Okay, you're gonna have to be
only
more
care
specific. Just because you're
for
in
the
politics for
people
a
in
long time doesn't make you
Washington.
bad. Go ahead. Tell me. What did
What do
she do
you,
to be a rhino?
Pickles? It quite literally makes you a bad person if you think that all
For
your
being a
life.
public servant your whole life?
That's not, dude, that's not what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
what they
saying that
are. They're public servants.
some of them have a good heart, okay? Some of them have a good place, but whenever you give them 40, 50, 60 years,
And they're
that
extremely
is
knowledgeable in their job,
asinine.
extremely qualified. They know geopolitical affairs more than anybody. Those are the people I want on those
No, those are
committees.
the people that are stuck in their ways. They're not moving forward.
You guys are conservatives. What do you mean? That's what you love. You don't want to move forward.
No, we're conservatives as far as our household and our money and our
You
taxes,
guys want everything
not
to stay the same.
conservative.
That's what a conservative is.
No, a conservative to me is small government, big family.
Okay, I don't care what it is to you. It's literally in the name.
Conservative, yeah, you want to conserve certain parts of your lifestyle.
You want things to stay the same. You don't want more than two genders. You want us to revert back to God. You guys want us to like all this dumb shit that makes
No,
no
this is
sense. You can go on and
normal,
on.
yeah, normal, unimpeding shit, like normal life, like the way it's supposed to be, you know?
You guys want women back in the kitchen. You want traditional families. Like all of these things are the old people, the 60-year-olds in Congress. That's what they want too.
You want women back in the children, you said?
Women
What?
back in the home. Women back in home, like in the kitchen.
What does that statement even mean?
Literally
Like,
think back to the State of the Union after Obama. I'm sorry, after
that's
Biden
not
gave State of the Union.
realistic
I
anymore,
think
though,
was it
bro.
Nancy
Like,
Mace? Dude, literally, you guys are still preaching this. You guys still want people.
yeah, but
I
it's
literally had somebody on my fucking panel 2 days ago saying that we want to revert back to family traditional values. That women should stop working. They should be at home. You guys have literal politicians advocating for this.
wait, so there's politicians. Are you talking about, I mean, JD Vance's view on the household, or like who are you
Literally,
referring
I
to?
want to say like 90% of y'all, you're like traditional family values, women at home, you know, I want them at
I
home
think
and
that it's a
pregnant.
beautiful life. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful life to live
Oh
if you were
God.
able to do that. I think
Okay,
that
well there you
that's
go. There you go.
amazing, but that doesn't mean
That
that
is a
you have
conservative
to.
value that you're sold on. All right, it took me 3 seconds.
No, it's a fact that it is a beautiful life to be able
It
to
is
be a
not a
man
fact.
and provide for a woman that
That is
bared your child. Like, what do you
that is
like?
literally
That is like
subjective as fuck. That is my girlfriend out earns me so fucking much. She loves what she does. She does not want kids. That is subjective, my
well,
friend.
that's good. That's good for you. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm saying that that's a good thing to want as well. And a lot and most people do at the end of the day that like human interaction and they want to have a normal life. They do want a family and children. And whenever one day you have a child, maybe you do, maybe you don't.
I will never
Like
have
you said, you
kids.
don't.
I don't want
Okay,
kids.
that's up to you. But at the end of the day, I have 4 of them, and the first one that was born, the very first one that was born, I made up my mind that it was a decision that I would rather the mother stay home and and not have to put them in daycare to get sick all the time and
All
get
right, all right.
picked
I
on,
get
whatever
it.
the
Okay,
case
you're
is.
just
'Cause
justifying
there's
what I'm claiming you are. You are literally a conservative who wants women at home. These are the same people in Congress that are fucking
no, there's a
900 years
reason
old. That's what
behind
they
it though,
want, and
dude.
you're advocating
It's
against
better
that.
for the child.
I don't
It's
care.
better
You're
for
not going
a
to sell me on this.
child.
I don't care. I'm saying that's what you guys all want, and now you're just justifying it. Yes. That's what conservatives in Congress wants. That's what fucking 900-year-old dinosaurs in Congress wants on your side. Conservatism.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So would
That's
you
what Liz Cheney
say
wants. That's what Adam
would you
Kinzinger
say it
wants.
is not better or better that the child is raised at home or a daycare?
I think daycares are just fine.
At a loving,
Socializing.
normal home.
Okay,
A loving, normal home.
okay, I
I'm
say
talking about
I
babies.
don't
I didn't
care.
say
I don't care.
toddlers.
I don't think you should be
I'm talking
fucking.
about playing on the playground here.
Shh. I don't give a fuck, and I don't feel like I should go around telling people which one they should do. That's what I think.
Nobody's telling anybody what to do.
Okay, then
That's
why
the
the
thing,
fuck is
though.
that a political
Nobody's
stance you
saying.
have?
So look, it's not a political stance. It's a moral and a life stance. It is.
Okay,
That's what you're
then
saying.
why
Most
are you
Republicans.
bringing this
Yeah,
into politics?
you name me one Republican that has said women have to stay home, and we're going to introduce this bill that women
Yes,
we're going to pull
all
their rights
people,
away from voting.
every single one of them that say traditional family values, and literally Nancy Mace and all these other fucking weirdos that have come out and said this and elaborated on it, they all want that.
What is the definition of traditional family
Think
values?
1960s. I don't know. It's literally
No,
whatever you
what
make
is
it that
your
day.
definition?
My
What is your
definition, whatever I say is
yes?
going to
What
be
is
wrong. It's literally subjective, right?
no? I'm not saying that. I'm saying if your definition is men were pieces of shit, women had no rights, like that's crazy thought. Like, yeah, you have a good point in some circumstances,
Dude,
but
you
in the
literally
most
have
case, it
people.
was a
You have people on your side it's like saying women shouldn't vote. You have people on your side saying,
that's wrong. That's wrong.
literally in the Bible, it says that women shouldn't have a voice. You guys are
And
inherently misogynist.
I just debated somebody with a background that said there's a coming obituary for MAGAs. So
And
what's your point?
what does that mean?
There's
What does that
crazy
mean in this
people.
conversation?
There's crazy people that have different ideas with different political thoughts on both sides. That doesn't people. You got to stop with this. This is how Hillary lost in 2016. This
You're not
basket
going to
of
tell me
deplorable
how
ideas.
people. You're not going to
This
criticize.
basket of deplorable idea that you have that everybody's in some fucking basket when they're not. They just
Okay.
vote off of different ideas that make sense to them
And
in the
that's what I've
moment.
been sitting here
And most
saying.
people
You
don't pay
guys have all
attention.
of this basket full of ideas, though. You guys have all these assorted ideas, and you've never been nailed down. This is what we're talking about ultimately. What is a rhino? And I'm telling you, what is a rhino is subjective. It's what whoever's against Trump. It is not who is against conservative values. It is a very cult-like,
Okay,
tribalist thing. It is not a
why
real
did that
thing.
word exist in Washington when Bush was in office? Why did it exist
You guys
when
use the
Obama
rhino
was in
thing
office? Why
because
did it exist when Clinton was in office?
conservatism, in my opinion, is very toxic, and you guys don't actually have any sort of criteria for what makes a rhino. Every time somebody's come out, this is what my grandpa does. Every time somebody come out against Bush or against Trump or against whoever's the leader of the Republican Party, you guys go, "Oh, they were bought out. They're rhinos."
I mean, I don't think that at all. I just don't. I don't understand who you're meeting, or I mean, maybe your old school grandpa, like you said. I mean, my grandpa's the same way. He's up in Mississippi. I promise you, he ain't changing his mind. But at the end of the day, people are people, is what I'm saying. And the idea of people are in a basket, just like I don't think that you're in a far left basket. I think that you benefit off of propaganda for the left. But at the end of the day, I truly don't think that you are as far left as a lot of your viewers would like you to think.
I'm not far left.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of your viewers are. I mean, I just simply sit here in silence sometimes and read their comments, and it's pretty terrible.
We're in bad
But
shape as a nation. We're in bad shape as a country. We are all very much in distress, and we're trying to illustrate it to you guys so that you see it too. And it's very hard. It's very frustrating. That's what they're doing. They're being frustrated.
let me ask you this: would you agree? And I'm gonna hop off after this, but would you agree until next time anyway. But would you agree that we should create a new party that identifies both sides in a modest way, takes out the billionaire aspect, but also takes away the
We're not
massive
singing
social program
Kumbaya. No,
aspects?
MAGA's ideals are welcome nowhere near us. No, thank you. We're good. You guys
That's
gotta
not
move
what
forward.
I'm saying. At the end of the day, your ideas have to go too because they're not working clearly.
No, you guys
because
don't. You guys have been propagandized to vote the way you vote. We are very moderate on the world stage. We are literally center. We are center. We are even
Dude,
conservative in some countries.
your party had signs out front of my own, and I'm in a red state, out front of my own voting thing that said anybody but Trump. That was something that most people ran on
Anybody
to.
but Hitler. It would be the
Anybody.
same thing. Yes.
Okay, dude. You are literally stretching now. This is what I'm talking about. Like this
No,
is
I'm
where
not.
you.
I can
This is
paint
where you
this picture
profit
for you
and
all
gain
day.
off of your fan base. I don't truly believe that Pickles thinks that
do. I
Trump
would
is going to create a fucking
Concentration
a
camp?
prison, a
Do you know
camp where
do you know
we
he's trying to suspend habeas
unalive.
corpus?
Where is he building a camp to unalive
He
a
doesn't need
group of
to.
people?
He's sending them to war-torn countries, and he's sending them to CCOT. Next.
No, he's not sending anybody that's a part of this country anywhere.
He's actually proposed it, right? He says he's thinking about sending citizens, homegrowns.
Where did he say that? What do you mean?
It's a clip. Trump.
Yeah, you're talking about he's saying that he would be down to support them or deport them. I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, sending them to CCOT.
Deport them to CCOT or Guantanamo Bay.
There you go. Did you know that
Which are
Auschwitz
both
was
not
not
in
in
the
Germany?
United
Did you know that?
Guantanamo. Did you know that Clinton used in 1996 Guantanamo Bay to hold migrants?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Is he sending them there for the rest of their lives? Is he sending them there without due process?
Nobody is sending them there for the rest of their lives, and they had due process when they came
False.
in, and they skipped their court date.
That's not true. Every
Whenever
single
you skip
person.
your court date, hey, Pickles, whenever you get a court date here in America and you don't show up, what happens?
You get imprisoned and then you go to court.
Yeah, you get in prison, but that's
in
in this country. But you, at the end of the day, you already went to court, and we said, okay, well, we'll think about
Not
it,
true.
and then you ran away from the court
That's
date,
not true.
and then you fucking never showed up.
That is not
so
true.
now you're deported.
That's not true.
Every single hey Pickles, what first world country doesn't have immigration laws?
You're conflating immigration laws with Trump sending you to prison for the rest of your life and giving that prison $6 million.
Doesn't deport people? What country does not deport people for being there illegally?
I don't know. I don't know. They all do, right?
Not a single one, right?
Yeah, but which country sends you to prison for the rest of your life for crossing a line?
Hey, were you there on the sentencing agreement in El Salvador when they said the rest of your life, or were they being held there for 30 days until they get due process?
You're missing a little detail here, bub. How many people get to leave CCOT?
You're saying the rest of your life, though,
yes.
to be dramatic.
How many people get to leave CCOT? Tell me.
Obviously, it is for the worst of the worst, dude, and that's what you don't understand is you need to stop advocating for the worst of the worst.
Okay, dog.
They have done their evidence.
263 people that Trump sent directly to CCOT have no crime. 70% have no crime in either country. No criminal record in either country. None. And
Well,
guess
then
what?
Zero
of
so
them
how do
get
you
to
know
ever
their
leave
criminal
CCOT.
record? If 70% of El Salvador cannot keep up with their own criminal record, how can you?
Okay, if we don't have any
How
notion
can you keep
of,
up with their criminal record?
I don't need to. If Trump doesn't, if you believe that they have a criminal record, even though there is not one in El Salvador, that's your problem. If you just assume they have a record just because El Salvador has a bad system, I'm sorry. If that helps you sleep at night, sure. But I am saying
No, El
we should
Salvador
not
has
send people to fucking CCOT for the rest of their lives. They have no lawyer, no court date ever for the rest of
Why do
their
you keep
lives.
saying for the rest of their lives, dude?
Because
Like,
CCOT is only for life. It's
not
only
only
for
for
life.
life. In this situation, it's not. It's a
Yes,
holding
it is.
situation.
No, it's not. CCOT, there is no way out of CCOT besides dying. You're fucking lying.
No, what you're looking at and identifying is El Salvador's sentenced murderers to CCOT that never
No,
leave.
no,
And
you're
what I'm
lying.
saying is that
You're wrong. CCOT is only life
El
sentences
Salvador is
only.
being no,
CCOT
they're
is
being
only life
used.
sentences. You're lying.
That's not true. Pull
Yes,
that
it
up.
is.
Say it. Pull it up. Say
Yes.
is CCOT only life sentences, or I bet I can pull up.
I'll pull it
Is
up right now.
CCOT being
I'll pull it up right
used?
now.
Is it being used as a holding facility?
It only doesn't hold people with life sentences. Inmates have been sentenced in lengthy period, but some sentences described centuries long. Others detained without conviction and yet to be formally sentenced. Salvadoran government has stated that houses high-ranking gang members with the criteria of being incarcerated CCOT. Hold on.
High-ranking gang members. Dang, dude, like that's what you're advocating for over here. I doubt fucking that. I'm talking. Yes, while CCOT so.
One known instance of someone leaving the facility alive. There's at least one known instance of someone leaving the facility alive. Oh my god. There's one. You're right.
God. Yeah, Pickles, you're not understanding that there's also you can do the same exact question for Guantanamo Bay, and most of it is nobody leaves there alive if they actually get sentenced to Guantanamo Bay.
All right.
But what I'm telling you is that they're being used as a holding facility, just like Clinton did for Guantanamo Bay in the 90s.
You're whataboutisming
Is that a
this.
fact?
You're whataboutisming this.
Is that a fact?
I don't know.
Did Clinton
I don't know.
use Guantanamo Bay?
You're not going to use Guantanamo Bay
easy...
to argue CCOT.
That's in Cuba. What do you mean? That's in Cuba. It's a different country.
You're not going to use Guantanamo Bay to argue about CCOT.
I'm asking you, is that true though? And can you pull it up just so you can see if it's true?
Is Guantanamo Bay? First of all,
did Clinton use Guantanamo Bay as a holding facility for migrants?
Holding? That answers the question already. That answers my question already.
That's what
every one of them
is doing. They're holding them there for us until they figure out.
No,
and
that's
until
not
they
true.
figure out
they are there for the rest of their lives. That is why we can't get Garcia back. It's because that he's there for life.
Can't. That's not why we can't. We don't want to. We're not advocating.
Thanks for saying it out loud. Trump doesn't say that. He just says, "Well, I have my hands are tied. Can't do it."
Well, no, my hands are not, sir.
Guantanamo Bay is literally not on U.S. soil, so that we can do unconstitutional things to people there. This is not a win.
And that's what Clinton did to immigrants. The one that was on the campaign trail last year for Kamala.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who did that. And you're saying exactly what my point is.
Do you think that was wrong?
Do I think it was wrong? No, I think that it was the exact same situation, and you guys just shut up about it, and so does the media.
They were sent there temporarily for detention. Temporarily.
I don't think it was okay, exactly.
Okay. But CCOT is an active
These people are not citizens. They are and El Salvador's president specifically said, we will accept all of these illegal immigrants into CCOT as a holding facility.
That's not true.
And
That's not true. You're lying. They are literally there for the rest of their lives.
Are they only accepting El Salvadorian citizens?
Venezuelans too.
That's it?
They don't take women. There's many countries where they exclusively do not take them. If
well, of course they won't
certain
take
countries. Women. I'm sorry?
Of course they wouldn't take women and put them in a men's only prison is what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
That would be terrible.
Literally,
this is the way CCOT works.
Is like because Clinton temporarily held people in Guantanamo Bay. Temporarily, this makes it okay for Trump to send people to prison for the rest of their lives. They are there for the rest of their lives.
What I'm saying is reporters back in that day were saying the exact fucking same thing.
Dude,
Clinton sending them to Guantanamo Bay for the rest of their lives.
You're coping so hard. So you're saying
no,
that people,
I'm not.
You're
it's
saying
quite
that
literally
these people,
the same thing.
You're saying that these people in CCOT will eventually be released?
I'm saying that they will eventually, probably, not all of them. If they are actually high-ranking gang members, I'm saying most of them will probably stay.
They don't
I'm saying
get any
some
court
of them.
Date. You're lying. They're never going to see a court date. You're never going to see a judge. They are just there for the rest of their lives. You're fucking making it up. You're making this up. This is a
what you're making up is the fact that there's no evidence. What you're making up is the fact that Pickles doesn't have it. Is the fact that
White House
ABC doesn't have it.
The White House
You know,
acknowledged this. The White House acknowledged that there was no criminal background in either country for 70% of these people. The White House acknowledged this.
what are you talking about? No criminal background. Are they here illegally? Let's start with the basics
That is not a crime.
here.
That is a $50
Hold
fine.
on, is crossing the no?
It's a $50
That's
fine.
not honesty. That's not.
Yes,
Pull it up.
yes. Okay.
Pull it up right now.
Entry without inspection.
Is
it's a $50 fine.
Crossing the border a federal crime? Type that in.
It is a Class C misdemeanor. Federally, yes. It is a $50
Can you go to prison
fine.
under the first charge? Under the first charge, can you go to jail for 6 months?
Up to 6 months.
Can you?
Maybe.
Can you?
Is it the rest of your life?
I said, can you?
I don't think so, honestly.
Yes, you can. That's what the definition quite literally is. Under the second attempt, if you enter this country, you can be imprisoned. You can be imprisoned for a year. No, the first is 6 months. The second is a year, and you can have your green card application denied for up to 10 years. That is a federal crime.
Okay, federal doesn't mean you go for the rest of your life, though, right?
That means that you go to jail or get deported, bro.
Okay, but not for
That
the
means
rest of
you're
your
gone.
life. So you're
That
saying
means you're
it's the
gone.
same as going for the rest of your life.
Who controls the State Department? The executive branch. Who can deport people and accept green cards or the fucking passports? The State Department. You're missing it all, and it's on purpose because you know this. At the end of the day, they're completely within the law. The State Department falls under the executive branch.
They're not within the law to send people to jail for the rest of their lives without due process.
You don't know if it's the rest of your life. You weren't there for a sentencing. You don't know that.
There is no sentencing. Who made you think there's sentencing?
Okay, but who made you think it's the? Okay, who made you think that you know what's going on and fucking?
You can read about
Guantanamo
online.
Bay or Venezuela.
I
Like
don't care
who?
about Guantanamo
Who
Bay.
gave you
I'm
advice?
talking about what Trump did and what Trump is continually trying to do, and this is what you're justifying, and you're dancing around it, and it's very shameful. And if you keep advocating for Trump to be able to push for these types of unlawful acts, you're a piece of shit.
Where are the unlawful acts?
The
What-
Supreme
what
Court's
law?
pointing them out for you, and you just got paid to kick. Bye. Thank you, Megan. Megan's in the chat. God, that was painful. Megan, MEAGEN, kick this guy, bro. Thank you so much, guys. I don't know how much I have to go around in circles with somebody to convince you. Just Google what CCOT does. Google what it is. Do you get a fucking judge? Do you get a court date? Do you get a lawyer? Do you get a phone call? The answer is no to every one of those. You are just straight up tossed into a fucking group of people, and you're treated like a piece of shit for the rest of your life. It's the worst doom that you could ever think of. And this guy says it's fine because you broke a law that would result in a $50 fine. $50. $50. $50. Yellow? Alma, are you there? Yellow.
Yeah.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
What do you like about Trump?
Yeah, I've spoken to you before. It's just at some point, Pickles, you know, I understand the compassion piece that you're emoting, and I get it, but this is the inevitable result of trying to reverse the actual unlawful acts by prior administrations. Trump's not breaking any laws, but prior administration did by not securing them. They have an obligation to secure the border.
You have to substantiate that. Biden did not do anything to loosen border security.
You're a fool.
Okay,
that's
tell
the
me
end
what
of
he
that.
did.
People were there saying they came in because they knew
I didn't
Biden
ask you
would
that.
stop them.
Can you tell me what he did?
He did not enforce the border.
Can you tell me where he sent out a memo where he said don't enforce the border?
You don't have to send out a memo.
Okay, how did he do it?
Subliminally. Are you kidding me?
Subliminally? What?
Pickles, come on. You look so wrong. You got so agitated with that last guy because he was telling you the truth and you don't want to hear it.
He lied multiple times. He didn't know that CCOT, there's no way out, that they get to see a judge. It's a holding
That's what
cell.
you say. And like he said, that's what they said about Guantanamo.
That's what they said. So you get to call everyone a liar because somebody may misrepresented what Clinton did years ago. You get to say that this is wrong?
No. What I'm not talking about Clinton. I'm talking about what the people were saying about Clinton.
Okay, this isn't the people. This is just multiple countries, investigative reporters going, hey, this is what CCOT is.
Okay, investigative reporters. Like the ones that got Pulitzer Prize for the Russia hoax?
Yes, the Russia hoax that ended in 37 indictments.
No, he just went to an appeals court and won.
Who did?
He doesn't have 37. Trump doesn't have 37 indictments. He just
You're
won.
missing the point. It wasn't Trump that got indicted. You can't indict a sitting president, silly goose.
What are you talking about?
37 people got indicted for Trump, for Trump's actions.
And one of the lawyers on that case got indicted for misrepresenting classified documents.
I'm gonna help you out. Paul Manafort got caught with bank and tax fraud, conspiracy, FARA violations, and he was convicted, sentenced, and then pardoned by Trump. Rick Gates, Manafort's deputy, pled guilty to conspiracy, 45 days in jail, cooperated. Michael Flynn, national security advisor, lied to the FBI, pled guilty, later pardoned by fucking Trump.
They totally entrapped him, bro.
Entrapment, my ass. George
They
Papadopoulos,
know it,
campaign
Durham.
advisor, lied to the FBI, served 12 days in prison.
Dude.
Roger Stone, longtime Trump
What's
associate.
a FARA? What's a FARA? By the way, what's
Obstruction.
FARA? What
I'm
about
sorry?
FARA? What is FARA? Educate me. What does FARA mean?
Foreign. He was
Get it out. Get it out.
Yeah, he was acting as a foreign agent without registering.
There you go. You did it. Good job.
There you go.
So let me ask you a question. Can you find the other cases where people got caught a case on FARA? No, you can't. And by the way, if that's true, how come Hunter Biden didn't catch a case on FARA? Bro, you have
to convict, and you'd have to indict Hunter Biden and prove it in court, and they never had it. They had his laptop for like 6 years. They didn't do anything. They didn't fight anything.
You guys are losing so bad. It's incredible. Donald Trump is so popular, and the deep state and the Democrats and the Democrat media is so unpopular. You're getting smoked everywhere.
This is a cope. All right, I'm gonna finish my list. Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, tax fraud, campaign finance violations, lying to Congress, 3 years in prison. Alex Vander Zwan, lawyer for Gates, he lied to Mueller, 30 days in prison.
You know what Cohen lied about? Do you know what Cohen
he
lied
about finances. Yes.
No, he lied about Trump, bro.
Yeah, he lied for Trump because Trump told him to, right?
No, he lied about
Yes,
Trump.
He did. He lied.
Dude,
he lied about Trump because Trump told him to, and Trump didn't bail him out like Cohen thought he would.
Pickles, I love you, but I told you before, and I'll tell you again, we need a strong Democrat Party. You guys got to come to reality.
Dog, I'm up here with the facts, and you're coping saying that I'm bad, and you just keep reflecting on the fact that you don't like my party.
No, I'm not. I don't know. No. That's the point. I don't like the way your party's acting. We need the Democrats to be strong.
Call out corruption, and that's what I'm doing.
You never called out any corruption on the Democrat side. Oh, see, then you're a fool because you know there is. If you just said to me, hey, Joseph, listen, you know what? You're right. They're corrupt too, but right now I'm focusing on Trump.
Okay.
I would give you that.
Okay, so in the Democrat Party, I would give them like a 1 out of 10 in corruption. Trump is 400 million out of 10.
Yeah, but let me ask you this question. If that were true, you have to agree that Trump is the most investigated politician in the history of investigative politics.
He's a slimy, horrible person. He should be.
Okay, good. So now we have some agreement. This is good. Why is he not in jail?
Because he won presidency.
Why wasn't he in jail before that?
Because we gave him due process.
Okay. So the due process did what then?
It delayed it.
Okay. But now he went to the appeals court, so that's not going to even hit him either.
I don't even think you know what you're talking about. You're probably talking appeals court for a civil case.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not criminal.
The New York criminal case, the 34 indictments that everybody talks about.
I got a feeling you're already wrong. You can't appeal something he's already convicted of.
Pickles, don't ever go with your feelings. They'll always let you down, buddy.
All right, I want you to show me where he appealed his 34 felonies.
Let me look. Hold on.
He appealed them before it was closed, but it was already done. Oh, wow, 8 days ago. He's still battling the case. He's taking it to appeals court?
All right. I'm not on my computer, so I can't talk to you and look on my phone at the same time. So
Okay, Alvin Bragg says the case can't be removed to federal court after conviction. So,
but you're not convicted until you're sentenced.
And he was sentenced, and he didn't get anything. His sentencing was early January.
What was he sentenced to?
Nothing.
There you go.
But he was convicted.
Oh, you feel better now? Oh, my pickles, I love you.
I'm not the one arguing this.
What I'm trying to tell you is, you keep going after somebody who is not what you think they are.
Literally,
he's trying to help the country.
No, he's, dude. It's so bad how you guys can't see what he's doing.
Every celebrity,
it's
pickles,
so bad.
Every single before 2015, every single celebrity of every race, creed, and religion loved Donald Trump.
That's not true.
White, black, purple, yellow, you name it, dude. They loved him. And then all of a sudden, he went against the deep state, and look what happens.
Dang. I would argue he is the deep state.
Hey, listen, if he is, I'll jump off his bandwagon right now.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
No, you won't.
But I can't stand people like Rand Paul and the rest of them, and the Lindsey Grahams and all these guys.
You've made this point to me before, I'm pretty sure. Have you not said that everybody loved, on my side, Elon Musk until he started supporting Trump? Now where are you? Where are you with Elon Musk?
It's all a show, bro.
It's all a show.
Yeah, you just don't know. You don't know you're being trolled.
I'm being trolled,
I gotta go.
I'll
call you right back. I'll call you right back. I gotta go.
That is you just dude. They really are loony, bro. They're really losing it out there. It's a show? You really think it's a show when Elon Musk is trying to convince Twitter that Trump's bad now? Saying that he's on the Epstein files?
What's going on, Pickles?
What do you got, Goose?
Like my question with the Epstein files, right? And I don't know if you've seen my videos. I'm neither here nor there yet, right? Why are you guys holding on to Elon Musk's nuts the way you guys are right now? Like, you guys hated him, you boycotted his shit, right? You said that he's you said that he's untrustworthy. That's the notable part. That he's untrustworthy, right? But now he's trustworthy to the point that, I'm not saying you, because I don't see it on your background, but every other mainstream liberal content creator has got it on the background that Donald Trump is already guilty of whatever goes on at Epstein's Isle, right?
We've always held this point, but I think that what we're addressing is that you guys now have to address somebody such as Elon Musk, who can't be bought out, who was on Donald Trump's side as recently as last week, and it is now saying horrible things about him. We want to know what your position is. And that last guest's scope was that it's a psyop.
Yeah, I mean, the last guy was intelligent. He just like thinks that maybe he's trying to say what I'm about to say, just as having a hard time articulating it. I think the last guy was on par for the most part. But what I would tell you is opposite of what you just said, that Elon Musk can't be bought out. I think that Elon Musk thought that Donald Trump could be bought out. He thought that the fact was that with all the hit that he took to Tesla, that he would get something in return. And what the big beautiful bill does is it actually takes away money that was allocated towards EV and solar panels, and it's no
He
longer
already
being
advocated. He advocated for that day one when he was talking about all of the subsidies that go towards EV. He goes delete them. He said this months ago. So try again.
So like here's my question, Pickles. If he knew since day one what was on these Epstein files, right? Why say it now, right? And why didn't the Democrats say anything
because
over the
it's
last
hurtful
2
to
or
his
3
movement.
So hear me out, man. Hold on, hear me out. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, if Donald Trump is guilty of any absurd nonsense that happened on the Epstein aisle, I think he needs to be removed immediately. I don't think this is something we need to be waiting on. I think the files need to be released immediately. And not only does he need to be impeached and removed, but he needs to be thrown in jail and set as the biggest example in American history on what happens if you mess with our children. Right? So I just want that to be clear, right? So, but with that being said, Elon is no better. First of all, he is allegedly on these files also. Second of all, why say something now instead of saying something months ago when the files were like seen by him, right? Why now? Like, why now?
If
That
Elon's
is
doing
my
all of
question.
these things for the greater good, or to he spent $230-something million endorsing Trump. Maybe this is the straw that broke the camel's back, this big beautiful bill, and now he's coming out and being like, listen, here's all of this shit that I know. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And
You could be
he's
right.
like, yeah, I mean, I think this is how it's going.
Well, here's the thing. Like I study the patterns of people history, like within that person, and from the get go, ever since Elon made his first few $1 million and was popular, right? From the get go, he's what I call the dam that likes to divert the flow of the river. He's always did something to try to divert the flow of whatever river he is in. That is just what he does.
I don't know what that
He's
means.
done it from the so like for instance, let's go I guess a little bit more recent, like with Doge, right? He was all Doge, not the Department of Government Efficiency, but the coin, right? And then it was building it up. Remember, he built it up to like 77 cents right before he went on to Saturday Night Live, was hyping Doge up. He was purchasing Doge, was accepting Doge, was doing all this stuff, right? And then the second he went on to Saturday Night Live, he literally was like, yeah, Doge is a fucking scam. Destroyed it, right? He always does that. Like he literally, it's a pattern in his characteristic. Like it's just who he is and what he does.
Dude. Okay, I don't know. This is a weird. I don't know if this is probably going to be studied by people for decades. The coping mechanisms Trumpers will use to.
I don't feel like I'm coping. I'm telling you right now that if Donald Trump is guilty
Elon once sabotaged his own meme coin. That means nothing to me right now. Literally, he has nothing to lose. He has invested so much money into this presidency.
No, he has
and now
everything
that
to lose.
And now that it's not working the way he thought it was, now that he feels like he was lied to, that we were going to pay back our debts, and that the Doge efforts were completely in vain, he is coming out and he is hostile. He has everything to lose.
Hear me out.
His Twitter could die. His Tesla.
No, at the end of the day, no.
Teslas are going to be terrorized by both sides now. MAGA's going to start setting Teslas on fire.
No. Like at the end of the day, we don't terrorize. We don't do that.
Oh,
like,
you guys are domestic terrorists, dude.
But like, listen to me. I mean, put labels on things, dude. Like I can say BLM is domestic terrorist, which is supported by your party. Like so, like I'm not trying to put labels on anything like you are, man. Like you're taking jabs. I get it's for viewership. I'm trying to have a logical conversation. Elon Musk does do what I just said he does. It's provable by looking at the history of Elon Musk. Second thing I want you to understand, right, is like while you say this is going to hurt X and hurt, no, this can ultimately be a play in order to help
Say it
him.
again.
And
Say it again, Goose. I'm sorry. What's a domestic terrorist group? And then I want
Listen,
you
I'm
to
not
explain
talking
to
to
the
you.
class
I'm not
how.
talking to you.
No, but I'm talking to
I don't
you,
really
love.
give a shit
Hey,
about it. Like,
Pickles.
Hi,
Like he's
Erica.
the one that called me a terrorist group for
No,
whatever reason.
the
Like
January 6th, Patriot
yeah, was I at
Fronts,
J6?
Yes.
Pickles.
and
Was I at J6?
Oath
no,
Keepers, the Boogaloo
the
Boys, those are
the
domestic
the
terrorists.
Like,
people
am I
that
part of any of those groups?
I'm not saying okay, you are MAGA,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Trump
No, I'm
has
not. I'm a
emboldened
conservative
y'all.
Republican.
If you're for Trump, you're MAGA.
I'm a conservative Republican.
You are not
And once
conservative.
again,
If you're for this spending bill,
I
you're not
am.
for conservative.
No, first of all, why don't you ask me? I'm not for the $2.7 trillion added to our deficit. I'm with Elon Musk on that point. So why don't you ask before making assumptions and making an ass out of yourself?
Okay, all right.
Well, how about you not make an ass out of yourself and say inflammatory comments like BLM is a
I did
domestic
not say
terrorist
that.
group? You
Listen,
did say that.
I did not say that
I
until
think
he
Chad,
took
did
a
he say
jab at.
that?
Listen, I did say it, but I didn't say it until he took a jab first. For every action, there is an equal or greater reaction. It's called Newton's law. Go read a
No, two
fucking
wrongs
book.
don't make a right.
Oh
Two wrongs
yeah,
don't make a right,
so why don't you
Dookie.
criticize Pickle then and shut the
Okay,
fuck up?
here's
Who
the
the
thing though.
fuck are you talking
I'm
to?
talking
Is
to
the
you,
thing.
woman.
I'm talking to you, asshole.
I'm
How about
saying
you
I don't
go
hear you
read a book?
criticizing Pickle, you fucking hypocrite. Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
not
I'm
a
talking to him.
hypocrite because you are a part of a terroristic
Just
group.
go be a
MAGA is
victim somewhere else. I'm
terrorist.
talking to Pickles.
How about you? How about you go complain and whine somewhere else? How about that? Because you didn't take that tone with Pickles, but you want to take it with a woman. All right, Pickles, I'm trying to use TikTok friendly language, but I really want to call him a short dick fat bitch. Excuse my language. Tap, tap, tap the screen, guys. Do all the good things.
You want equal treatment as a woman? I'm giving you
There
equal
we go.
treatment.
You're a piece of shit.
This is what
Oh,
I'm
you
saying.
want to be coddled?
Okay, Goose.
You want to be
I wanna-
coddled because you're a woman?
Goose.
That's not equal treatment, is it now?
Goose, when I'm talking, okay, let's calm down. When I say you, I am sorry. I'm going to rephrase. I'm going to say your side. The top 15 groups that are domestic terrorists are all right-wing groups. Here they are: the Atomwaffen Division (AWD), the Base. These are neo-Yahtzee groups: Nationalist Socialist Order, rebranding them Atomwaffen, similar goals, nonviolent revolution; Blood Tribe, neo-Yahtzee group; Patriot Front, white nationalist group; the Oath Keepers, militia group comprised of former military and law enforcement personnel involved in January 6th.
Explain to me when the last time these groups
percenters,
burned down a city.
anti-government militia movement claiming 3% of the colonists fought back.
Explain to me the last time these groups burned down a city.
Boogaloo Boys did this. This is number 8. The Boogaloo Boys were the people who burned down the police station in the city of Mike Waltz. In Waltz Estate. Bundy.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
No, that was BLM.
No,
thanks
that
to
was
George
the people arrested for that were Boogaloo Boys, the right-wing domestic terrorist group.
Boys.
Sorry. Thank you for sending Erica the galaxy. Conspiracy-driven anti-authority. So we got sovereign citizens. That's mostly y'all. QAnon. That's y'all. And then 12th, the black identity extremists.
I'm
the
not
first
here to fucking
instance.
debate.
The
There's
first
racism on
instance-
both. I didn't bring this up. We were talking about there's racism on both sides. White people can be racist. Black people can be
No,
racist.
black people
Brown
cannot
people can be
be
racist.
That's not my point.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude,
You
you're gonna
shut
chill
the
out.
fuck up.
You're gonna be fucking respectful to Erica. This is what I'm saying is that the top 12 domestic terrorist groups are all right leaning. The first instance of left leaning is the Black Hebrew Israelite extremist. They might even be right. They promote anti-Semitic, anti-white beliefs. They might be right leaning. I don't think so. And then we have eco extremists and animal rights. We got 13 and 14th place being left leaning. That's what I say when I say Trump and your movement is mostly making
I don't have
domestic
a
terror
fucking movement.
groups.
I'm
okay?
an American that
BLM's
cares
not
about
on
putting
here.
America first.
BLM's not even on here.
No shit. So can we talk about what we were talking to him before you bring up your token black girl and pivot it to me being
Excuse
racist?
me?
Bro.
He didn't bring anyone up. I literally requested. As soon as you said the bullshit that you said out of your mouth about BMM being a terrorist
So why don't
organization,
you
I
equally
requested
attack him
because
for
you lie. You
calling
don't
me?
get to
Why
spread
don't you
misinformation. And you're
Why
going
don't
to
you
stop
equally
talking while I'm
attack
talking.
him?
If I
No,
have to
well,
continue
you're
to
not
raise my
Kamala.
voice,
You're not
I
Kamala.
will.
You're not Kamala. Nobody
You
gives a
will
shit.
stop talking while I'm
Like,
talking. You
I
make
will not.
absolutely no sense, and you're only here to
I
rage
was
bait
literally
because you have no points to stand on. Pickles saying that you're a part of a domestic terrorist organization made you crash out this hard, then boo boo, go
Well, I'm
and
not.
talk to the lady.
That's.
Go talk to the lady. All right, go get a therapist and talk to the lady about that and see why you're so
Well, luckily
fucking
I'm recording this
fragile.
because that's
Okay,
defamation, Pickles. I hope you know.
don't do that.
Trisha,
How
thank
about
you for the
that?
$40. Goose, come back some other day. This is too heated. I don't feel like getting banned today.
Sorry, Pickles. And you know, I've never done that before, but that dude is absolutely ridiculous. I just literally wanted him to provide an example, and all you were going to do is refute it because he was going to mention that police station. And we all know that the FBI and the Justice Department found that it was darn old Boogaloo Boys and Antifa who were actually perpetuating these darn old acts of violence during BLM protests. It wasn't BLM protesters and organizers doing these things.
Yeah,
Simple as that. All right. I'm gonna go now. All right, Pickles. It's all love.
I hope you have a better day.
Oh, my day is perfect. I'm about to go to the movies. Mission Impossible with my social media manager.
Fuck yeah, go get it.
Yeah, all right. Have a great day, guys.
All right, you too. Chat, I want to take a moment to sing some Kumbaya, relax. It got heated, guys. It got heated. Just cool down, chat. Tap the screen. Let's protect the stream with a few likes. W Trisha's in the chat for the kick. We love you, Trisha. Thank you. If you are a friendly, please hop out of my box. And also, if you enjoy these debates, give me a follow. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Kristen, thank you for the for the travel. Thank you so much. Whew. Woof, 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 woof. Why do we platform racists? We have to be able to show the viewers of my channel some sort of informational content. And here's the other thing. You're not going to find a white person in America who's not some sort of racist. Anybody who says they're not racist is racist. Sorry. You're not going to find anybody in America, I don't think, of any race that doesn't have some sort of prejudice. We need to be able to talk to these people. And I don't feel like having a completely segregated channel either. I think that's not worth anybody's time to listen to people just agree with each other all day. So we do have to platform these people, unfortunately. We do have to talk to them. And it is productive. Maybe not productive for the person I'm talking to directly, but maybe for the people listening. Can I look at the Kilmar update? Do we have him being returned? They say he's en route? On his way to face charges? On the way back. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hi, I'm Diane Macedo. We're coming on the air with breaking news. Sources tell ABC News Kilmar Abrego Garcia is now en route to the U.S. from El Salvador to face criminal charges for alleged human trafficking. Abrego Garcia has been at the center of a high-profile court battle over his mistaken deportation to El Salvador. These charges are related to a 2022 traffic stop in Tennessee.
Oh,
Where
God.
the
I
Department
remember
of Homeland
this.
Security said Abrego Garcia was pulled over with a vehicle full of passengers who all gave his home address as their own. The Trump administration has admitted his deportation to El Salvador was what they called an administrative error, but had refused to facilitate his return despite a Supreme Court ruling. Let's get right to ABC's Catherine Falders, who has this exclusive reporting. So, Catherine, what do we know so far?
So,
I got a feeling they're not going to be able to
Diane,
prove this.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia is back on his way from El Salvador to the United States. He's flying here and should land late this afternoon in the United States. Now, we're told by sources that he's on his way back because he is facing criminal charges. He's been indicted by a federal grand jury, an indictment that remains under seal on charges related to human trafficking. So once in the United States, he will face federal criminal charges for allegedly transporting undocumented migrants within the United States. And as you mentioned, that stems from what we've reported on previously, that 2022 Tennessee Highway Patrol traffic stop where Abrego Garcia was pulled over for speeding. He was in that car with 8 other people who he was transporting. He was originally let go with a warning by the sheriffs, but those sheriffs were speculating off camera that that could be related to potentially transporting undocumented migrants. Now, it's important to note here that this investigation, these federal charges, did not really get put into motion until April. That was weeks after he was deported and after the government admitted that he was mistakenly deported. So this federal investigation started when he was already in El Salvador. Of course, this is a mechanism to bring him back to the United States, where he will land shortly. We are told by sources that an indictment could be unsealed as soon as today, where we will see these federal charges. But again, it's worth pointing out, too, that it's unlikely that this criminal investigation wouldn't have started if it wasn't for that judge in Maryland in that civil case saying that telling the government, ordering the government to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the United States. We remember that went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court agreed with the district judge here. And
So it was vindictive.
But again, it's important to point out this is
They're
civil
weaponizing the
litigation.
federal
It's a
government.
Civil case.
Nice.
He is now facing criminal charges here in the United States.
So, Catherine, what's next here?
So what would likely happen next is once Kilmar Abrego Garcia touches down on U.S. soil, he will likely either make his way to a courthouse potentially to face these charges. Maybe that's a federal prison. Again, all of this is unknown. Details are still coming in here, but that is likely what will happen next.
You guys are asking why I'm happy. Let's see. First of all, it doesn't sound like they're going to be able to convict him on this. If they do, even if they do, he gets to stay in a federal prison here, not in fucking Seacott, and it's not going to be for the rest of his life. This is literally a win. No matter how it plays out, it's a win of some degree, and it shows that this is proving that we get to, before you deport somebody to El Salvador to be directly sent to prison for the rest of your life, you get due process. If this is the thing that they have to do, if they have to face up trumped up charges from the federal government before they get their freedom, I'm all for it. That's a win. That's a fucking win. I will take it all day. He gets his day in court. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Now let's bring the fucking 100+ other people back home. How about that? Let's bring the other 100+ people back home. Yo, what up?
You just said what I was going to. There's still almost 200 more people that need to come home.
Yeah.
So that's basically what. Oh my god! But that's what good news. And the person I saw that I reacted to it was he's not cheering necessarily for Garcia. We all kind of are, just because he's kind of. Let me get me on camera here. but we're cheering for the Constitution.
Yeah.
We're cheering for democracy. Democracy is in danger. Our Constitution's in danger, and that's what we're cheering for. And yeah, the fact that you're talking about it is for life. Yes, these people, a lot of them, the most they've done is a misdemeanor for life in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So,
a $50 ticket.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. This is just a good day for democracy, guys. This is what our forefathers fought for. So all you assholes down there going, whoa, he MS-13. Well, now he has the chance. Now, I have a feeling it waited so long that they were trying to build some kind of case. and this is all that they got.
Yeah, and if he's deported again, it's most likely not going to be at El Salvador. There's no fucking shot they're going to send him back to El Salvador. Send him somewhere else. I think they're sending people to fucking, is it Sudan? Some other war-torn
Well, they're
country?
trying to, yeah. Sudan, they're trying to. And Libya, yeah.
God, it's so
But
fucking
I think
horrible.
there was
But
a
at
handful of
least-
people sent to Sudan.
At least he's not fucking in a fucking like terrorist prison for the rest of his life, dude. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like you said, and I was just saying, 70% of that airplane should be coming back, at least. And the thing is, what are the charges on the ones that actually had crimes? What are those charges? Are they like being in a gang isn't illegal? Now I understand. MS-13 would be a little bit of a stretch to show that you did it, but yeah, you being in a gang is not illegal. Why aren't we deporting Hell's Angels? I mean, almost the same thing. But anyways, that Goose guy, I go into his lives. I've been in his lives a couple times. I follow him. He is the most misogynistic piece of shit. But I'm with you. At the same time, you have to address it because you have to expose it.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Anyways, Pickles, always good to talk to you.
You too, dude.
Take care. And you know what? I like the greens.
All right, get out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Chat, if you enjoy these debates, if you enjoy this stream, give me a follow. We are going to go to the next guest, guys. No more friendlies. No more friendlies. I love y'all, but we're going to move on to the next debate. You're doing the Lord's work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. The greens are the best. Fuck, chat. I can't even find him right now, guys. Oh. All right, guys. Quick vote. Put a 1 in the chat if you like orange. 2 in the chat if you like green. Due process is what made America. Oh, man. Damn, it's overwhelmingly green. Fuck. All right. All right. Hello?
Hi.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
For this conversation, yes.
Okay. What do you like about
So
Trump?
there's two things I didn't know if you saw. So you know how they're bringing him back from El Salvador, right?
Okay.
I don't know the person's name, but remember when that girl who had cancer that they deported?
Yeah.
I believe they're bringing her back too.
Okay.
And then, have you seen the woman in Arizona who's running for Congress? She's like my age. She's 25.
What about her?
Oh, I just think it's like really cool for like young people to like get out in politics and try to make a difference for this country.
Okay.
But that was really all.
All right. Thanks, Ty. Oh, hell no. Yellow.
What's up, brother?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, you know I am. But I'm also the calmest guy. I've talked to you before.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I'm going to say is you are in my wheelhouse now. Without saying too much, I work in the financial industry, but I work with law enforcement to track down drug traffickers and human traffickers. Human traffickers are the worst of the worst of the worst people on earth. To watch you sit here and cheer, yes, I get it. You're gonna put the blanket on that you're just supporting the Constitution. You're cheering to bring a trafficker back into the United States. Does that make you feel better? Like you got to win?
He's not convicted trafficker, right?
Do you not think he is?
No.
Do you know what the telltale signs of a trafficker is?
What are they?
When every single person in that van gave his address, because they don't know any other thing to say.
Could he be working with these people?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to always say this. You need to have kids, and I think so many of your perceptions are going to change because you're cheering to bring a human trafficker back into the United States.
First of all,
that dude can rot in a Salvador prison because they are the worst of the worst human beings.
You're missing the concept of what we're cheering for.
I get you're cheering for the Constitution.
Due process,
I get it.
Okay, Trump does not need the ability to send people to an El Salvadorian prison for the rest of their lives with no due process. The fact
Okay,
that
what if
Garcia,
it was a
who is
what if it
not
was a
convicted
resort
of
prison?
I'm sorry.
You always bring up that it was the El Salvadorian prison.
Okay.
What if it was a Canadian prison?
With due process, yes, go for it.
So if this guy comes back and he's convicted on everything, and that's due process, then you don't care what happens to him.
Correct.
Right? Or do you want him free because
no, I don't care what happens to him.
He's a good person.
No, no one thinks he's a good person. This is where you guys have been propagandized. We don't want a bunch of criminals here that are bad people. We want Trump's actions to be checked. We don't want him to have the ability and the tools to circumvent the law and send people directly to a concentration camp.
When did it go from a jail to a concentration camp? That's fear-mongering.
It's not fear-mongering. What's a concentration
It's a jail.
camp? It's not a jail. It's
jail.
a prison.
Or okay.
Is it
the schematics?
Okay. And what's the difference between a prison and concentration camp? Tell me.
Concentration camps have mass murders, which actually that one might. So the Salvadorian prison might have mass murders. I don't know. I haven't done my research on Salvadorian prisons.
Okay. It's not just that. It's the schematic. Like, literally, have you seen the way they're stacked on top of each other? There's like 30 people to a room. That's
there's
a
actually a really cool
concentration of
documentary
people.
on it.
Yeah.
There's a really cool documentary on it.
Yeah. So there you go.
And do you know what has happened to the crime in El Salvador?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't think we should employ that anywhere.
Google it real fast. I know you're on your computer. The crime rate's gone down like 75%.
I don't care.
So how do you expect to make progress against crime?
We don't have a crime problem here. What the fuck are you talking about?
You were just saying how much crime happens in all red states. I've been on for 2 hours while I've been working. You were just saying how terrible it is and how all these red states have all of this violence.
No, they have higher crime
I was listening.
than blue states. But we don't have a crime problem so bad that we need to start locking people away in El Salvadorian type prisons. We are a developed country, friend. In the Constitution, we have a thing that goes against cruel and unusual punishment. If you're an American patriot, you are against this idea.
Okay. Yes, I agree. I am against the fact of bringing traffickers back into this country. And you're from Texas. I know
He's not convicted, right? So
you of all people.
So I'm gonna guess that you don't think Trump tried to steal the election, that
Trump's
he
a piece of
didn't
shit.
have
Trump's a piece
classified
of shit.
documents in his.
We have talked about this, Pickles.
What?
Yes, I have the Trump remorse. I have the Trump remorse. You and I have talked about this. We talked
I'm not
about it like
talking
a
about the
week ago.
remorse. I am saying your standard for holding someone accountable is due process, right?
Yes.
Okay, then
Unless
is
it's
Abrego
human
Garcia
traffickers.
a convicted felon? Is he convicted?
Unless it's human traffickers. No, he is not convicted yet.
Okay, so
I
he's not a human
completely
trafficker
get what
yet.
you're saying.
And yeah, there you go. Trump brought back the Tate
That's
brothers.
right. Huh?
Trump brought back the Andrew Tate and his brother.
Oh.
Who were fucking, or now also just had new charges from the UK. Trump brought them back to be free.
Okay, I don't follow the Tate brothers.
Okay, well they are definitely
remember,
human
I'm
traffickers.
older. I'm
admitted
older
to
than
it-
you.
They admitted to it on fucking YouTube. In a YouTube video, they're sitting here explaining how they traffic women. and their processes for it.
No.
And then Trump
Okay.
pardoned
Like I said,
them and
I
brings
don't
them to
follow the
Florida.
Tate brothers.
Yeah, Trump
Oh,
pardoned
okay.
them, got them out of Romanian prison, and brought them to Florida.
Which is the second highest trafficking state.
Okay.
No, third.
Well, good for
Texas,
good for
Texas,
I guess they're right at
California,
home.
Florida.
I guess they're right at home.
Yeah. Okay. I'll completely shift gears now. That was just my tangent when I saw you smiling and clapping. And my first thing was like, do you know what human traffickers do to people?
Well, if
But,
these
okay.
people that he had in a car with him, maybe were just coming from the border, and
They might have been. You're right. You are correct. They might have been. They might have all been friends.
Yeah.
They might have been. They might have been. You are correct. Okay. We'll switch.
All right.
The big bill. I will say, it looked decent. I'm not going to say great. It looked decent theoretically. Once it came out on paper, it looked like absolute horseshit. I think, and listen to what you're saying to how Elon just flipped 180 degrees. I can 100% see that because it had, if you read it from a 10,000 foot view, it had tax breaks, it had a distribution of spending from, A to B or whatever. It didn't look that bad theoretically. There are a lot of things that look great theoretically that are terrible in practice. That has turned into a shit show. The last thing I was going to say, as I'm pacing in my backyard, I'm trying to think. I do appreciate, no matter how ignorant some of the people you bring up, that is a constitutional. That is freedom of speech. People are allowed to be as dumb as they like and make as big of fools of themselves as you like. That's about all I have today, Pickles. I just, you hit a nerve when you started cheering that they're bringing a trafficker back. But
I'm
I
cheering
under,
for
I
due
under, I,
process. I am
yes.
cheering for Trump's actions.
Anybody who watched you just do that, and like what you say, you've got almost 1,100 people in here right now. Granted, 99 of them, 99% are on your dick, but the other chunk of us who aren't, anybody who watched that, and it's even like the guy before me said, all it showed was you cheering that they're bringing a trafficker back.
No,
because as you know, with a lot of the people you talk to, people don't pay attention to the details. They pay attention to perception. They pay attention to perception and what they see. What they see is 10 times more powerful than what people hear.
Okay, yeah, I get it. And the thing is, people need to see that and be curious and listen to what I have to say afterwards. It's their fault if they're upset and they don't have any context, but yes, we have seen what the other side thinks of the law and of due process, and they are stuck on the fact that Obregón Garcia might not be a good person. We're not asking for him personally to come back and live a free, happy, joyous life here. We're asking for Trump not to be able to send people without due process to a prison for the rest of their lives. That is what we're cheering for.
Okay. I will give you that.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up, dude.
And the last thing I thought when you go fuck you, I was thinking about it. What movie is that? Jesus Christ, Half Baked, where they put like Parker, yeah, no Parker, Johnny, and I'd be going fuck you, Pickles, you're cool, and then just move on to the next.
Yeah.
But, dude, Pickles, find me through my my username. I'm an Alan. Let's have lunch. I'm harmless. I love discussing with you.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right,
guys.
man. Take it easy. Trish, thank you so much for the 6 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Joseph, by the way, you're paid to kick. I can't talk to you till tomorrow. You got to come back tomorrow. All right.
Hello? Hey, I just want everybody to Google gtvflyers.st. It'll expose the Jewish corruption in the United States.
Come on, bro. Are you a right winger? Are you a Trump supporter? What the hell? I just Googled it and I got Amazon Fire Stick 4K Max versus Google Streamer. Yellow.
Hello.
Are you a Trump
Hello,
supporter?
can you hear me? No, definitely not. Hell no. So, sorry, it's my first time being on a live. Kind of nervous. Before I begin, I'd just like to preface by saying I'm not American. I'm not from the USA, but I have a what you call a interesting insight as an outside observer as to what's happening in the US of A, right? So I have been paying attention to your guys' politics ever since 2016 during the Hillary and Trump, fiasco and so forth and so on. And what I've come to learn is that the greatest reality TV show in all of history is American politics.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's not just my opinion, right? That's just the opinion of everyone else around the entire planet. With that being said, it's like, how do I the vast majority of the planet, right? Like decent people out there, in my honest opinion, right? And once again, talking about this from the perspective of a non-American, we all don't like Donald Trump, right? They really almost all developed countries he's gone through, there have been protests, telling him to go, what you call fuck himself and so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And what I just can't comprehend as to how it is, right? People can go out of their way to ignore all the, heinous things this guy has done before his presidency as well, like the stealing of water from Scottish farmlands to fund a Trump golf farm, the use of slave labor in Qatar. What else is there? The multiple charities that he's held for children,
That he stole
which
from?
the
Yeah.
money. Yeah, he's stolen the money and did not give it back to the charities, and it's obscene. And I can't understand like why it is like you guys are in this mess to begin with. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I want to keep it short because I usually let friendlies up, but I appreciate you and yeah, I'm in disbelief every day. I've never been so sure that I'm on the right side of history. I have never been more sure about it than after talking to a couple thousand of Trump supporters. I've never been more sure that Trump is indefensible. All right, waiting for this next guest to connect. Chat, give me a sec. Yeah, I know. Chat, chill. It is. We're running out of guests. Yes, I know. Yes, we're running out of guests. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I don't have enough wine. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, he's got. Hey, we're good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jay. You didn't connect. We're good. We're good. Hello?
Hey, Pickles, it's done, diddly Cletus.
Oh, God. God damn it. What's up?
So, serious question. Who's going to get custody of JD Vance?
I don't know. But they should have thought about staying together for the kids. Little baby-headed JD Vance.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, man. So, are you ready to talk about the United States of Israel?
Oh, God damn it.
You knew this was coming, right?
Oh, God.
Come on, let's talk about it.
No, 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 no.
I
I don't even
can't
like
be
saying that
anti-Semitic.
word.
I voted for Jill Stein, right?
I don't even like saying that word. You fucking. Oh, my God. That's right.
Oh, sorry, antiseptic. I can't be antiseptic because I voted for Jill Stein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
I haven't heard that one yet.
that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's true. So remember the whole thing with the Catholic Church and the altar boys?
Mm-hmm.
You know what McDonald's and the Catholic Church have in common?
What?
They both like putting their meat in 10-year-old
God
buns.
damn it. Juggernaut. The fuck, dude?
The
Hello?
Jews killed JFK. They own the Federal Reserve. They own the Democratic Party.
Sometimes it be your own people, chat. Juggies, no. We're gonna. Hey, it's 24-hour timeout for you, bud. 24-hour timeout. You sit in a corner and think about what you did. Next punishment is you're gonna be locked in a room with Taylor Swift playing on repeat. Hey, guys, I love Taylor Swift too. I love Taylor Swift too. Which album? Next punishment is you don't get Reputation's Taylor's version until a year after release. Did that ever come out? Yeah, you don't get any of the vault tracks, nothing, dude. There will be no Reputation Taylor's version? Oh, she purchased the masters. Damn. Dang, dude. She owns all those albums now. Dude, they were waiting forever. Good for her, though. Y'all's KD ratio sucks. Guys, I'm literally... You're barking up the wrong tree there, bud. You're barking up the wrong tree. I agree, Elaine. I agree. Mikhail, no more friendlies, guys. The algo's good today. If you're a Trump supporter, hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. Why is your brain not good? Come tell me. Poor Pickles is unleashed just Swifties. She can't replicate that rage from back then either. That's fair, Ginger. That's fair. That's fair. Whenever the drama was happening. Yeah, we are talking about Trump. We are talking about Trump. Back to Trump, chat. I mean, Trump talks about Taylor Swift more than I do. All right? Is it true that Trump wants to create a database on every person? It seems that way. Palantir seems to be doing that. Terrifying, completely antithetical to conservative values. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I had somebody cope the other day and be like, so what? Your information's already everywhere anyway. Can you imagine if Joe Biden did this? Can you imagine? They would be setting things on fire right now. Right now. If Joe Biden did this, if Obama did this, he'd be the Antichrist. He would be so fucked. We would be so done. We would be in the middle of a civil you-know-what right now. If Joe Biden or any Democratic elected president did this Palantir shit, oh my God. Oh my God. We'd be so fucked. What is this? Where can we read this info? Just look up Palantir. Palantir. They're also doing this witch hunt. So they're pulling out all the stops. The playbook of like distracting us from this big, beautiful bill. They're like, oh yeah, well, we're going to investigate Biden's auto pin. Good luck. Good luck. We asked, I remember somebody asked Carolyn Levitz, like, what evidence do y'all have of Biden and the auto pin? Like, what do y'all have surrounding that? And she didn't have an answer. She's like, oh yeah, well, you're fake news. Y'all remember that? A couple months ago. They don't have anything on this. Linda McMahon got roasted the other day. Doesn't matter if they're Democrats or Republicans, they're all the same. That's the biggest cope. That is somebody who's detransitioning, deconstructing MAGA. Yellow.
Hey,
What's
Pickles,
up?
how are you?
Doing good. Have we debated before?
Not really, no.
All right. Are you a Trump supporter?
No, but hang on. I do have two court cases that support the person argument for the Fifth Amendment, if you would like to hear them just to bolster your arguments.
Sure.
So first is Yamataya v. Fisher, 1903. These are all Supreme Court decisions. It overturned the Immigration Act of 1882, and it determined that persons mean citizens. So Yamataya v. Fisher, 1903. That is what determined that undocumented immigrants, anyone in this country, is a person and deserves due process. Next is Zadvidas v. Davis, 2001. And this was another case by the Supreme Court of the U.S., and basically what it said was you cannot hold undocumented immigrants without due process past 90 days. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been deported out of this country since March 15th, 2025. That is 83 days. So in 8 days, Trump has committed another crime.
Wow. Thank you so much.
I'm not even a freaking lawyer. I use ChatGPT, and conservatives can't just read? Jesus.
It's actually 6 months detention, 180.
The Zadvidas v. Davis claim, though, in 2001 ruled under the majority opinion that in order to detain a deportee, detain a deportee, you cannot go past a 90-day removal period without judicial or administrative review.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, hell yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, no prob. I really appreciate what you're doing.
Anytime. Anytime.
You have a good one.
You too. Garcia's on his way back. I know. It's exciting, chat. It's exciting. Exciting. I thought that whatever happened to like Trump not being able to smuggle a terrorist back into the country? What happened to Bukele saying he can't do that? What happened to that? Seems like he can now. They charge him the bogus charges. I saw that. I saw that. And now we'll have an actual first-hand account of what CCOT is like. Yes. That will be... Dude, he'll... Even if he's put in prison for years, he could write a book. He'll be fucking... He'll be set. He'll be set. Literally one of very few people, one of two people, I think, that ever made it out of CCOT. Yeah, he'll be on the news. Yeah, for sure. He'll get the best lawyer that humanly possible. He'll get the best lawyer ever to ever exist. Who wouldn't want to be on such a high-profile case for free? They'll do it. I'm sure the whole Harvard Law will probably send the whole school to represent him. Jack Smith. Karen Reed's lawyer. Oh my God, who's following that? Who's following Karen Reed? Wild. Wild, wild, wild. These are extra sour, dude. Oh my God. They're Skittles. They're sour Skittles, but they're freeze dried. Oh. Guys, we might be losing traction with debates. What are they on Prego? I bought these. They finally Skittles finally came out and made freeze dried. So they're sour freeze dried Skittles. This bag is $8.99. $8.99. Kind of pricey, but they're good. You've gone from 1100 750 in the chat. Yeah, I know. We can't stay debating. There's it takes a lot of guts to come up here. You haven't heard anybody debate anything? Yeah, I know. We're losing traction, guys. It's okay. I might take a break. Eat some lunch, come back. Oh god. Yeah, today's a hard day for MAGA. I think there's a lot of people. It's hard for anybody to find ground to stand on in MAGA right now with the Musk stuff going on. I got it. Oof. What's up, Bub?
Look, I was invited up, so I have to. So you're in Texas. I'm in Texas. All barbecue tastes the same. There's no place that's worth standing in line for their barbecue.
Ooh, no sir. What? Have you? Okay, Dickies and then fucking Lockhart's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. It's good. I've had good barbecue. I've had bad barbecue, but all the good barbecue, it's all identical.
Ah, man.
And I'm originally from Kansas, and Kansas City barbecue is supposed to be I don't know. I don't care what it is.
I don't like barbecue that much. Actually, very recently is when I started to get down on some barbecue because I craved it, and it was very good, and it was Lockhart's. And I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to go try like Heart 8 and a few others to see what I like the most. But
yeah, that's one of my most controversial takes as a Texan. That and Dr. Pepper is trash. I'm sorry.
Ouch. Wow, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm a root beer girly. Dr.
Wow.
Pepper is. Yeah, I will. In every lifetime,
There's
I'm gonna
not even
pick that.
caffeine in root beer, dude.
That's fine. I don't drink it for the caffeine. I don't need that. I drink it for the sweet nectar of the gods that it is.
Chat, who's got $40?
just kick me down. I'm already losing the comments, and we've lost another 100 viewers. So go ahead and just get me out of here.
You're good. All right, appreciate it, Jeff. Later, man. Wow, Dr. Pepper's trash. Can we get some mutes? Mods, can we get some mutes about the Dr. Pepper slander? Root beer's trash. Oh my god. All right, guys. I don't know what to do here. We're gonna take a little break. Sent you a message about a recent arrest. I read something this morning. It was like a somebody working I think it was law enforcement or something that got arrested. I can't read my own DMs until I log off. Has been returned. Does that mean that he's back now? Abrego's here? He's on his way. He's landed? Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put on supporter only chat, and we're just gonna hang out for a little bit. Supporter only chat on TikTok, and go get a case of root beer, Chris. Wow, 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 wow. By the way, if you were to send one more penny, it goes to text to speech. If it's $10, it goes text to speech chat. If you're on YouTube, so I might lower it back down a little bit. Somebody was abusing it. Someone was abusing it, and it was really ticking me off. I'm gonna change it back down to 5 right now. Yeah, one of the best news is if you guys want to be able to chat, you can either become a subscriber or you can go to YouTube. What's the T? Let's see. Hold on. Let me change my overlay real quick. I gotta work my magic. Boop. Boop. Somebody just bought a new subscription. Tessa, thank you for the auto renew. And I think that's Chris. Thank you for the auto renew. Much love, guys. Kayla, thank you for the subscription. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Chat, we're I need to change my subscription goal. We're way down there. 547 out of 826. Let's get a little more reasonable. Let's do that. There we go. We got this porter goal going. My GG's goal is not getting the love it needs. I need to change it to like 1,000. But let me fix this first. Super chat. Text to speech. We'll make it 5 smackers. Boom. Add a 10K goal. Token goal. Patricia, thank you for the sub. How do we do this? 10K or just 1K? I'm gonna make it 1K. Higher gift costs and way less. Okay. Do I want a flower headband? Flower headband. Rainbow boxing gloves are dope. Yes, I saw that, Nicolay. Yes, we were just talking about it. Guys, I'm feeling cute. We're gonna do flower headbands. And we want 20 of them. Just feeling cute today, chat. Just feeling cute. Hey, did someone send one already? I missed it. Can we get some duck lips to go with the? Yeah, I can do it. I don't have luscious lips, guys. I don't have luscious lips. You sent 2? Thank you so much. Thank you, Trish. Thank you so much. Who sent 1? Gregory, thank you so thank you so much. Bree with the You're Awesomes. Thank y'all. I need to be better at shouting out gifts. I need to be better. They're hard to catch up with. Or keep up with. He doesn't have Johnny lips. Oh. Thank you. Get some lip fillers. Golden wood chipper. So, you know what we could do is, this is what I do when I'm hanging out with my girlfriend and her friends. We go through, we sit on her couch and we like AirPlay, or what's it called? Screen share onto her TV. And we just go through our reposts and we show each other funny TikToks. Should we do that? Do you guys just want to hang out? You got a party face? Thank you. All right. Thank you. I do. I'm down for whatever. Mine are mostly music. Feeling cute. Let's do reposts. Let's do... I'll go on my alt account. We'll look at my reposts there. All right. This is brain rot. If you guys haven't caught on to this yet.
Ballerina cappuccina, cappuccino assassino, bombito bandito, tripi tropi, leli di, leli la, bruh, bruh, patapim, berbaloni luliloli, la vaca saturna saturnita, woo! Winner, winner, chicken dinner! Tum, 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 sahur!
Love it, love it, love it. What do y'all know about brain rot, Italian brain rot? This guy's hilarious. Can I go live on my backup account yet? Yes, I can. Do you guys know who Martin is? I love him, dude. Do you guys know who Martin is? I love him so much, dude.
Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety.
Ugh, you guys just have to know him. You have to know him.
Yo, bro, what do you want to eat for lunch?
Type.
The fuck do you mean type?
Nah, just chilling, bro. Chill. You doing too much. Tight shit.
Bro, why the fuck are you acting like this?
Nah, y'all be acting so goofy in public, bro.
All right. I don't know how long I'm gonna have to torture you guys with this. I use this account to repost my own post. If that's not narcissistic. guy's fucking... This guy's a legend. If you guys don't know who Cool Man Van is. What a boss, dude. What an actual boss.
But they got like, they be swinging like girls and shit. But when you really from the fucking streets, boy, when she look me in my eyes, she know I'm a G. She know I'm a G.
Oh.
Looking for a dog with toe beans. Who snores
knows
loud,
bees?
eats cheese. Teefies. Toe beans. Snores loud, eats cheese. Teefies. I'm looking for a dog.
We don't know about that. Guys, should we do... Should we do gaming stream later? God, these are old. So Pickles is politics and brain rot? Pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much, guys. Do you guys know who Quan Mills is, dude? Guys, I just found out about Quan Mills. I should call her. What do y'all know about Quan Mills, dude?
It's me again. It's me again.
It's me.
This guy's such a menace, dude. He's such a menace.
It's clear that you have the attention span of a toddler. Because if you were to actually listen to the videos all the way through, I clearly delineate that these are concepts and ideas that I'm experimenting with. None of these books have been published. You all are not watching the videos all the way through. You probably won't watch this one all the way through, because if you would, I will go ahead and tell you I still have plenty copies left of This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib, written by me, the one and only international best-selling author Quan Mills. This is a real book, a good, gripping, ghetto urban fiction drama written back in 2018. Autographed paperbacks for sale here on the TikTok shop. Grab your copy today. It's clear that you have... It's me again, international best-selling author Quan Mills. And I just have one thing to say. You all fucked up by introducing me to the Omegaverse. You all really fucked up big time by introducing me to all of these wonderful Omegaverse and Preg tropes. I have a million storylines brewing in my head now. It's like a chaotic... It's me again, international best-selling author Quan Mills.
Pregnant by an
And
alpha
I'm
werewolf
back again with another Omegaverse and Preg ratchet urban thriller guaranteed to knock you off your... It's me again, international best-selling author Quan Mills. And I am back again with another crazy, gripping, captivating... It's me again, international best-selling author Quan Mills. And I'm back again with another crazy, intense, ratchet soap opera that is guaranteed to make you question
these fucking book covers.
are we
dude.
living? Do you have audiobooks? Everybody
The
keeps
thought
asking
old thought next
international
door. Look at
best-selling
this lady.
author Quan Mills, do I have audiobooks? Yes, I do. I thought you all knew this. This is one of my most popular audiobooks out there on Audible right now. Old Thought Next Door. It's me again, international best-selling author Quan Mills, back again with another urban ratchet sci. It's me again, international best-selling author Quan Mills, and your favorite CIA officer.
Oh, y'all gotta check him out. He's too good.
Why go
He's
live
too good.
alone?
Oh my god, Quan Mills, dude. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Oh god. All right, chat. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have to take a break. Thank y'all, chat, so much for all the love. Let's take a little break. I missed a call. Oh, it's for someone else. Guys, I love yous. I will. I'll catch y'all. I don't know. Give me. It probably won't even be an hour. I'm gonna do less than an hour, and then I'll be live again doing more debates. I'll see y'all soon, chat. I love yous.